I don't mean to brag, but I'm kind of a gamer. Sure, there are genres I prefer to others, but I basically play everything. Platformers, RPGs, racing games, fighting games, rhythm games, MMOs, life sims. I may not be smart, but I'll even turn on a puzzle or strategy game every now and then. There's one genre I don't play often, it'd be visual novels. Mainly because the gameplay mostly consists of pressing a button, so not my idea of compelling gameplay. Of course, I'm not stupid, I know you mostly play these games for the stories, and I'm gonna be real, maybe back in the day, that was cool, but thanks to internet videos, I feel I can get as much out of a visual novel for free by watching a let's play, rather than spending money on it. I guess I like my visual novels with some mystery, letting you solve things or participate in more than who you want to bang. Because let me tell you, my least favorite subgenre of visual novel is the dating sim. I've played games with dating sim aspects since Persona and Fire Emblem got popular and made every JRPG have that aspect now. But for the pure games about just collecting your favorite waifus, that never really interested me. Mainly because a lot of the art styles for these games is the moe type of anime girl that are drawn in a way to appeal to the typical weeb, not like the old days of 90s PC eroges, a golden age. And whenever there is a dating sim made in the West or by an indie company, it's usually a joke or made to play on the tropes of a dating sim instead of actually doing something new with it. They just make fun of it. So for those reasons, I've never been a fan of dating sims until today. Well, 3 months ago, when I played this. Just today, I'll be taking you through my journey to beat the game Amagami for the PS2 by getting all of the best endings with all 6 of the main girls. What brought this on? I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been playing so many high-octane action games that require all my concentration. I wanted to slow it down and try something that took more thought than execution. If you're wondering why the game Amagami, developed by Enterbrain's spiritual successor to their last visual novel Kimi-Kiss specifically, I think the girls are cute. Do I need any other reason to play a dating sim? Oh yeah, and as you can tell from the length of this video, there's a lot to cover, as this is mostly story, so strap in gamers, this is going to be a long one. Unfortunately, before we get to gooning, we have a prologue to introduce our main character, who I named Russ Tog. Don't ask me what I was thinking at that time, I don't remember. Russ Tog is your average guy just like you. In his 3rd year of middle school, he was stood up by his girlfriend, I already can't relate to this guy, on Christmas, and after that, he swore off of those gross girls and Christmas altogether. 2 years have passed since then, and he's in his 2nd year of high school, and he spends most of his days hiding in his closet, living life with his parents and little sister Mia. Mia has come to get us on this random day in November to get to school, but Russ is feeling down as he does every holiday season. Despite this, he heads to school as usual, and on his way there, he runs into his best friend, Masayoshi Umehara. The two have been close a long time and usually hang out and talk about porn and video games. Now that I relate to. Russ gets especially happy he went to school today because on the way, he gets to see Morishima-SENPAI, the prettiest, most popular girl in school, who's smart, nice, social. She's practically perfect in everything he's not. And hey, I'll admit, yeah, I think she's pretty hot. Oh, Morishima's the other girl. Yeah, she's alright. Of course, Russ and Umehara can only look while bricked up because any woman really is out of their league. However, Russ, when admiring Senpai, has a thought. Why should he be miserable every Christmas? Why can't he be happy? Why not even spend it with the girl? Okay, now this guy's talking crazy. No time to continue that, though, as class is starting with our sexy homeroom teacher, Takahashi-sensei, who, before you ask, is not dateable. Trust me, I tried. You'll see later. Anyways, Takahashi-sensei, before starting class, asks if anyone wants to be head of the Christmas Party Planning Committee. The school holds a founding festival every year on Christmas, because the school's founder's birthday is also on Christmas, and they need a new planner to help it out. Who'd be stupid enough to do that? Oh, that sounds like a waifu. Ah, of course, it was Ayatsuji-san, the class rep of Class 2... A? B? Whatever. I mean, of course she would volunteer. She's always so reliable and smart and willing to help out where she can. Man, nothing like Russ, the fucking loser who just sits there, gawking. Because that guy in the background is enjoying himself. Well, hopefully Ayatsuji has fun with that. More importantly, after class, Russ and Umehara continue their conversation from earlier. With this festival coming up and Russ's balls finna burst, he thinks it's about time to get a girlfriend. And from here on out, he decides to make it his goal to spend Christmas with a girl he likes. Umehara, being the bro that he is supportive of this plan, and even gives us his secret techniques on picking up girls, which in a cute way is actually a tutorial for the game. And that's pretty much the setup. After that, the actual game starts. Alright, let's address the elephant that you can see clearly on the screen. Yes, I'm emulating this. What, you think I'm gonna pay to import that shit with my subscriber count? Oh yeah, and the game is in Japanese. You might be thinking, wow, you understand Japanese, Brian? Nope. Remember, I don't play visual novels, I can barely read English. I mean, I can kind of read hiragana and katakana and can understand most words when it's spoken. But when it comes to kanji and holding a conversation, I'm ass. So why is it in Japanese? Well, I thought it would make it harder. Yeah, I know I said I chose this game to take it easy, but I didn't want it to be too easy. I mean, it's a visual novel, I could progress just by pressing X, you know? So I figured the only way to make the game more difficult for me, besides removing my ability to save and reload, which only a masochist would do, I figured why not play it in a language I don't understand to see if I can play the game right. Now, I did use certain resources to help me. I had a fancy translation app, a kanji dictionary, physical and digital, a Japanese dictionary, a notepad, and several YouTube tutorials open to help. I was ready, and I didn't use a single one. Yeah, I quickly threw out all of those because I realized, wait, this is a visual novel, and taking that long to translate everything would make this take forever. So, I just used Google Translate, for two reasons. One, it was fast at translating, and the other, it sucked at translating, which led to some kind of funny mistranslations. This is maybe a slang term, or the translation is getting it wrong. But Google Translate translates this as, I gave a blowjob to my senior. The last thing I had was a strategy guide. That's right, the Amagami official complete guide. I found it online. You might think, okay man, you said you were trying to make this harder, but how's using a strategy guide making it harder? Simple. It's also in Japanese, I can't read this shit. But it's got pictures, so that's gotta have to be enough. So now, I was ready. I had the limited Japanese knowledge, shitty AI translation, a strategy guide I can't read at all. All I need to do now is wife up 6 girls in 1 month. Easy. Oh right, all the tutorials were in Japanese, so I don't know how to actually play this. Well, knowing how to play the game is only one piece of the puzzle. I can figure out that shit later. The real problem is, who should Russ Riz up first? Again though, I don't know anything about this game. I think I saw the anime adaptation years ago, but other than that, I decided to leave Morishima-SENPAI for last because I assume she's, the ultimate girl. However, if you look at the cover and all the promotional material, the face of Amagami was our class rep from earlier, Tsukasa Ayatsuji. This had me curious because from what I can see, Morishima is supposed to be the true love interest, I guess, but Ayatsuji is always the one on the advertisements. I wanted to know why this was the case, so I decided to go for her first and see what's up. I still didn't know what I was doing, but I assumed these silhouettes had to be something, so I chose one. Looks like Russ forgot to submit some sort of career survey or something, so he writes some bullshit and doesn't know who to give it to, so he decides to go ask Ayatsuji, who says to give it to her and she'll take care of it. Oh man, that Ayatsuji, she's so reliable. She does mention that what I wrote down on our sheet is very interesting, whatever that means, and that was the whole event. So yeah, by selecting different icons on this map, usually exclamation points, you can enter an event that usually progresses the relationship with a girl, and there are a lot of these, so I'm not going to be telling you all of them, just the ones that I think are important or interesting. By the way, when an event is over, the game says, action executed. I was going to continue on, but then something weird happened. I couldn't interact with Ayatsuji again. I didn't know at the time, but that's because each event has a certain time of day you can activate them. Each day is broken up into 4 parts, 2 class periods, lunchtime, and then evening/after school. And a lot of Ayatsuji stuff happens after school. Normally this is when you should go around the school meeting the other girls, but I decided to just skip ahead without doing any of that because I just started this game, man. I don't even know what I'm doing with one girl. I'm not going to try to riz up 4 at a time. So I find Ayatsuji after school doing some paperwork all by herself. The game gives me a choice to help her or leave, and I decide to help her. This is where Russ learns that apparently this is some work a teacher asked her to do, and she's usually staying after school all the time to do stuff like this. Oh wow, she's so trustworthy, even the teachers are relying on her. After helping her, I head home, where at the end of every day, you get a little status report of how each girl is feeling about you. I have one right now. I'll explain what all this stuff is later. Also, Mia, our little sister, comes in to give some commentary based on what you did today. Okay. The next day, Russ is getting something to drink from a vending machine when someone throws a can off the stairs and it hits me on the head. What the heck, man? Who just litters like that? Ayatsuji was nearby and asked if I'm okay. Oh man, Ayatsuji, she's so nice. I say I'm okay, and that's kinda whatever, but it's weird someone would just throw a can off the stairs like that. Ayatsuji then says I'm kinda weird. I mean, I'm not the one who threw a can off the stairs. I actually means my reaction to it. She leaves because she's got stuff to do, but before she goes, she mutters something. I'm not really sure what she says. After that, I didn't get another choice because I had a forced event. Sometimes a mandatory event happens that involves one of the girls, and during the first week, you can't avoid any of them. Yeah, despite my desire to avoid all the other girls, the game literally forces you to meet all of them eventually. Of course, for a normal playthrough, this is so you can make sure you see all the options. But I skipped all these forced cutscenes because I'm a one-woman man, and Ayatsuji is that woman. After doing a few more events, I eventually unlocked the second game mechanic. Yes, there are essentially 2 gameplay types. One where you navigate this map grid to decide how you should spend your time with each girl, and then there's the conversation mode. So, bear with me, this one's weird. So in this mode, you ask your girl a choice of one of 9 topics. There's small talk, academics, sports, entertainment, food, fashion, love, ecchi, that's perverted stuff, and a bold action, which is the main character doing something bold, like holding the girl's hand or staring at them. They're all pretty lame. I'm not going to mention this mode a lot after this, because unless you're the one actually playing the game and asking the questions, it's not that interesting, as most of these conversations are literally to get to know the girl better, like their favorite foods, what they do on their days off, their opinions on TV shows and stuff. It's not very interesting to recap for a video, except the ecchi questions, which, look, I'm not going to pretend I talk to women ever, but some of the questions this guy asks these girls, most of whom he has only known for a few weeks at best, is borderline sexual harassment. Ayatsuji. Just asked Ayatsuji, have you ever been molested? Yeah, that's a pretty appropriate response. So where do you start when you take a bath? Let me ask, since when did your breasts start getting bigger? Do girls look at each other's bodies when they change clothes for club activities? Do you know about the no panties health method? Where do you store your used swimsuits after club activities? How the fuck does this guy function?
Hi.
I love that. Hi? What? What the fuck? What are you asking me? You may notice a few things on the screen I haven't explained, like why is this girl mid at best? What are these things under the mid meter? And what is that last grayed out option? Oh, don't worry, I'll explain all that later. For now, don't worry about it. Later around lunch, I see everyone in classes coming to Ayatsuji for help with their homework. Damn, what a bunch of lazy asses. But again, it just shows how reliable and smart Ayatsuji is. She's also really pretty now that I'm looking at it. Like, damn, that fit. Umihara, you mind? I'm gooning over here. Now, the next day after that sucked. Cause I neglected meeting all the other girls, this is the day the game decided to force me to meet all of them. The entire day. So I missed one day of hanging out with Ayatsuji. Well, that sucks, but probably doesn't matter much. Right? Back to Ayatsuji, who I see the next day on my way home from school, where I see her, convince a boy skipping out on classroom duty by saying she'll fill in for him if he does her work for the Christmas committee. So he says fuck that and runs back to the classroom like a bitch. Oh damn, Ayatsuji can be kinda tough when she wants to be. She was kinda natural at it, honestly, but then I overhear some girls talking that even they think Ayatsuji is so cool for being so upfront with a guy like that. Wow, Ayatsuji even turns all the girls gay. Man, she's so perfect and awesome. Another evening, I see Ayatsuji on the roof, who's getting some fresh air. She teases me saying it must be nice I have so much free time, which, I mean, she's right. But I won't admit that, so to counter, I say, Ayatsuji must be up here to clean her heart cause it's dirty? I think Rust said some Japanese phrase that didn't translate well. But Ayatsuji admits something weird, that her heart is black? Whatever that means. Unfortunately, gamers, this is where I fucked up. See, I hadn't realized it, but for some reason, I couldn't hang out with Ayatsuji anymore, so I started skipping ahead to see if something would happen. That's when a week later, I hear a dog, and I go running towards her for some reason, and I meet this kinda hot older woman, who's a little bit ditzy, and turns out to be Ayatsuji's older sister. She seems embarrassed by the fact that I met her sister, and leaves quickly. But damn man, if that's what those two look like, what's the mom like? Unfortunately, I had no time to fantasize about MILFs, cause something really bad happened here. Ayatsuji's status with me didn't change. That's pretty important. You see this little staircase thing here that appears at the end of every day? This is basically different statuses that represent what level of a relationship you have with each girl. The first one is meeting them for the first time, then the second one, from top to bottom, is affection, which is what I was aiming for, because this is when a girl starts developing feelings for you, and acquaintance, which is what I got, meaning your relationship with them didn't really change from when you first met. Finally are the ones that determine what kind of endings you can get. There's love, friendship, and estranged. Obviously our goal is to get every girl to the love area, but unfortunately, despite this guide, I had no idea what I did wrong or how to fix it. So, I did what any normal man would do, save scum. Hey, I never said I wouldn't, so I went back to a previous save, which was near the beginning of the game, because I had no idea when I actually fucked up. And this is when I realized why I failed. See, every event has a time limit. When you highlight one, it shows you what days you can do said event and when they end. And of course, there are specific ones you have to do to progress your relationship with a girl. And then by doing enough of these events, you will eventually unlock a star event. This is the one that really matters, as once you do a girl's star event, they will progress to the next relationship level. And the reason I missed this is because, well, remember those forced events? Yeah, because I was neglecting all the other waifus, the game forced me to miss some timing on events with Ayatsuji, which basically put me on the road to the acquaintance level and locked out my ability to get her to the affection level. Thankfully, I noticed this after I reloaded and managed to get back to where I was very fast because, you know, it's a visual novel, I just skipped the cutscenes. And I managed to change the future. In this timeline, I run into Ayatsuji on my way home from the arcade, and she's with her hot sister again. And again, she acts a little weird about it, like she didn't want to see me, and says they gotta go right now. And they leave. And okay, that was pretty much the same thing that happened in the other event, but this one lets me progress? Why? What's the difference? I don't know why meeting her sister this time instead of that other time mattered so much. Well, whatever. We successfully altered the timeline. The next day I'm talking to Kaoru, you'll learn more about her later, and I start talking about how I met Ayatsuji and her sister last night. And when Kaoru mentions I've been talking about her sister to Ayatsuji, I notice Ayatsuji goes a little pale, and then she hastily leaves. Huh, that was weird, maybe she's sick or something. Later that day, I'd see Ayatsuji working late again for the Christmas party, so I decide to help her again. And finally, with that, I was able to unlock her star event, so now I can progress her to the next level. I don't know what, but I was expecting something interesting, but the actual event is nothing really special. Ayatsuji made me a lunchbox for helping her last night. That's right, I got to eat the legendary bento made by a girl. Well, she says he didn't actually make all of it, per se, but the feeling is still there. And that's the whole event, I just eat lunch with her. I know some of you were probably expecting, like me, that this was a big event that mattered with progressing, so there'd be some big revelation or twists or something, but this game isn't like that. You know, other visual novels, you get to know the characters through certain events, and then you learn about their dark traumatic past that can only be cured by you dating them or fucking them. This game takes a more realistic approach. Well, realistic is a stretch, but I mean, these characters don't have some baggage or have any crazy storylines that involve all this drama. They're all kind of normal people. The biggest struggles they have are normal everyday things for Japanese high schoolers, like entrance exams, club activities, and of course love when you get involved. And I like that, it's like playing through a slice of life anime. Now the whole game isn't exactly lighthearted, there are some serious stuff, you'll see what I mean later. This is why I'm also not going over these stories in great detail, as a lot of these events are mundane interactions that anyone would have when running into someone at school that they know. I mean, some of them get kinda weird, but the point of the game is to date some girls, it's not trying to be anything more, and I kinda respect that. With that said, after you do a girl star event, there isn't much else to do after that except the conversation mechanic. There is one event where I see Ayatsuji alone reading a book. I make a comment that Ayatsuji alone is giving off a different atmosphere than usual. That's a weird thing for us to say. And when you move your relationship to the next level with a girl, you get a little scene with them commenting on what they think about you at the time. Ayatsuji is wondering why I'm so weird, always helping her and expecting nothing in return. She says it's important to her. She also comments how this is the first time she's thought about someone else so much. Oh yeah, we're in there, boys. Also, isn't it crazy that a girl as perfect and completely unproblematic as Ayatsuji is into a guy like me? Anyways, the next day after school, I find a notebook that's got no name on it, so I look inside to see if I can figure out who it belongs to. I kind of skim through it, but I notice it's a schedule that's super packed, and the handwriting is cute, according to Russ. Turns out it's Ayatsuji's who comes to the classroom looking for it. Wow, even perfect Ayatsuji can be careless sometimes. She asks if I saw what's in it, and I tell the truth. I skimmed it, but didn't notice anything but the handwriting. I mean, obviously I wouldn't just invade someone's privacy by reading their... What? Whoa, what? Damn, that's a face. Ayatsuji-san? Yeah. Ayatsuji grabs me by the necktie and starts saying weird things like I saw her secret and begins acting way more aggressive. Of course, Russ in this situation is more concerned by the fact that she's pressing her chest up against him. Keep your priorities straight, man. Well, I guess he is. Ayatsuji then suggests we go hang out with her behind a building in the school before someone sees her acting like this. After she gets uncomfortably close to me again, I explain I actually didn't see the secret she is talking about in that notebook. I was just commenting on her handwriting. Ayatsuji realizes, oh, I fucked up, as she has revealed her true self to me. Yeah, it turns out she's not as perfect as everyone thinks, as her usual self is a huge dom. She tells me not to tell anyone about her Jekyll Hyde situation, otherwise she'll tell people about how I touched her chest, even though obviously she did that to me. Russ reluctantly agrees to this. Although, to be honest, I was enjoying this new version of Ayatsuji. She's a lot more interesting now. It's kinda awesome. You will tell everyone that Miss Ayatsuji is a sincere and wonderful person. Repeat. What? I mean, I won't tell anyone about you. She is a wonderful person with no secrets. Learn this at once. Alright, she's got 20 times better. She's a wonderful person with no secrets. Ah, yes, you were very clear. Would you like me to touch my breast against you as a reward? I never touch you. Man, this route just got 20 times better, man. The next day, keeping such a secret is hard for Russ, so he tries to tell his best friend Umihara when... Uh-oh. Unfortunately for Russ, Ayatsuji basically owns him now. And I don't know why, this version with Ayatsuji was making me, the player me, feel a certain way. I don't know, maybe it's love? Later that day, I see Takahashi-sensei, and Russ, I guess, just can't keep Ayatsuji's secret to himself. He has to tell someone for some reason, and tries to talk to her about it. But she's busy and can't talk. So busy, she asked me to go to the library to help her do some work, and it might be a lot for just me, but luckily, Ayatsuji is nearby. How convenient. When the two of us are all alone, Ayatsuji wonders why I even bother still hanging around her considering what happened, and that I'm weird for not just avoiding her altogether. Russ says some shit like, well, whatever, I'm kinda into it. But then she tells me to stop trying to tell people about her cause they wouldn't believe me anyway. While in-game, Russ is going through a whole wave of emotions now with this huge revelation. I was feeling one emotion right now. I mean, I think that's kinda hot that she's like that. I don't know. And that she's kinda overpowering me. She's the top. I think that's pretty hot. Sometime later on the way home from school after talking to Umehara, I hear her scream and run towards it. It's Ayatsuji, who denies it was her, but eventually tells me it's cause a stray dog came up and peed on her. Okay. Also, that's not how Google translated it. So the Google Translate is translating this as, my pee got caught. And then, I'm kind of confused how this happens exactly, but Russ, I guess, forcibly removes her shoes and socks from whatever position these two are in now, saying he'll go wash them for her. And this somehow leads to me giving her a piggyback ride home. Yeah, so look, I love this game, it's really fun, and well made, but one critique I have is a lot of these events with the girls can be pretty forced and not explained well. You'll see in some later routes that there are situations so out there, they don't even really bother explaining how you end up in that situation, they just happen. At least they're funny, I guess. Hey, don't touch anything weird. I'm not touching you. Please give me a break. Oh my god, how'd she get better? Later during gym class, Ayatsuji notices me staring at her during the girls playing volleyball. And I say, oh, I was just admiring your athletic skills, because, I suck. She then goes on another rant about how life would be better for me if I didn't know about this side of her personality and stuff. I could just admire her from afar. But I say, yeah, that's chill, because Ayatsuji's being herself, and that's all that matters. I guess she's satisfied with that and leaves, with Russ starting to think, hey, wait, she noticed I was watching her. Does that mean she was watching me? Nah. Later that day, I find Ayatsuji staying late again doing work. Can't be helped, Russ goes in and lends a hand again. This gets Ayatsuji to ask me, again, why I'm helping, expecting nothing in return, especially knowing who she is. I say, I don't know, I just feel like it. This guy truly is an enigma. The next day, I overhear some guys talking about the Christmas party coming up and how preparing for it seems like a hassle, so they should just bum all the work off on Ayatsuji, my work. But I managed to convince them to help out since we're only young once, so we should make this party the best one ever. Aw, Russ, you wiener. Luckily, this gets me some brownie points with Ayatsuji though, as she overheard me talking to those guys, and thanks me for helping. Around lunch, I run into Ayatsuji again, and she says that stuff again about how I'm weird for doing things without expecting anything back. She's really hung up on this, but she's kind of noticed how kind I'm being, and it's starting to get her to think about her and her future, and that she wouldn't mind if that involved me. Oh snap. This gets more serious the next day after school, as Ayatsuji is free, so we walk home together. But she takes me on a detour through the park, where she straight up asks me what I think of her. Oh, it's happening. She then tells me about how I've been affecting her just by being around, that she didn't mind because it was fun, but now she's having deeper feelings, as when she started thinking about me not being around, she couldn't stand the thought of the two of us not being together. So she says she'll give herself to us. Obviously, I agree, and damn, we just start like that? I wasn't expecting a kiss considering, well, any anime ever treating a kiss like it's third base. But yeah, I guess we're a couple now? That happened out of nowhere. I'm not gonna complain. The next day after school, Ayatsuji has me come with her for something, and we go to some shrine in town where she burns that notebook she has, the one I found that started all this. And the music and illustration signify this is a big deal for this character, but honestly, through all the events I played, I never found out what was in that notebook, so I don't know why this is a big deal for her. But then Ayatsuji, as if addressing me, the player, says she knows I don't understand why she's doing it, but I will once I get to know her better, which I feel is the game kind of breaking the fourth wall, saying, play the other routes, idiot. Either way, this gets me to the final stage of love with Ayatsuji, as that was her star event. And that night, she just can't stop thinking about me, man. She says it's all my fault she can't study, so next time she's gonna bully me even more. I cannot fully describe to you how erect. Now here's the thing, I said that this game doesn't have a lot of drama, but if you're someone that just lives off of it, well guess what, have I got the thing for you. As the next day, Takahashi-sensei tells me and Ayatsuji that the city who's helping plan the Christmas party says, forget the Christmas tree the committee ordered, they'll get one themselves because it's taking too long to get here. Yeah, that's the third act drama we got going on now. See, I told you, this isn't clan ad or anything, the problems are pretty mundane. I wouldn't have even mentioned it if not for the next day it mattered when rumors spread about there being problems with the Christmas party. Oh boy, looks like everyone in class is basically grilling Ayatsuji on what's going on, what's happening with the Christmas party, did you fuck up, like what's going on Ayatsuji-san? I tried to help calm the situation, but yeah, it's a little too late, as due to recent events and maybe people hounding her right now, Ayatsuji removes her limiters. Yes, she reveals to everyone her more abrasive side, so cat's out of the bag now. It's honestly a very girl boss moment of her. I'd play the whole scene if this video wasn't already long enough. Oh damn, she's staring the daggers at him. Taguchi, before you complain, please remember to use your head. It's about time those around you start liking you. Damn. This of course has immediate effect, as during lunch I noticed that no one's sitting with Ayatsuji. In fact, it's like people are actively avoiding her. But good news! Off-screen, Ayatsuji managed to talk to someone in charge of the city and fix the whole tree situation. Phew. Thank God, I was so concerned. On another day during gym class, me and Umehara noticed the girls were playing dodgeball, and that they've singled out Ayatsuji. She's basically playing by herself and everyone else is on their own team. Well, that's a dick move. Until Kaoru shows out to help. I swear I'll explain who she is when we get to her, but for now Kaoru's helping out to show that Ayatsuji isn't as alone as she thought. She's got Nakama. And there's no better Nakama than Russ, as he does against some unintentional Riz, when he steps in to shield Ayatsuji from a ball. After the game, she comes to thank me for what I did, and I ask her, hey, I've seen you hang out with those people before. They're your friends, right? Why would they act like that, just because you're acting a bit different now? Ayatsuji says, she knew she was never really friends with anyone, that most of them only hung around her when they needed something from her, so it's not a big deal. Damn, well I'm here for you Ayatsuji, you can step on me any day. Now, first event happens every playthrough that on the 31st day in the game, a week before Christmas, it's my birthday! Hooray! Umehara congratulates me, and then the two of us wait in class because we're like, oh man, I'm gonna get some gifts from people I know, but then no one shows up. I mean, you could give me a gift, Umehara. Like I said, this event happens every playthrough, and this classroom scene actually does serve a purpose, as if you're on a friendship level with a girl by the end, this is when they show up and give you a gift. Obviously, I was not hanging out with any other girl or aiming for the friend zone, so this never happened. But if you were at the love stage with a girl, then they will come to your house at night to give you a gift. So Ayatsuji shows up and... wait, how'd she know where I live? Should I be concerned? Well anyway, she's here to give me a present. A pair of panties. What? Oh, actually, she just found them lying on the ground, and I determined that they are my sister Mia's underwear that I guess got blown away or something. Okay. I don't know why that was a detail they shared with me, but I had to share it with you. She does give me an actual gift before she leaves, a copy of one of her favorite books. She hopes I'll like it. Wow, what a cute and thoughtful gift, actually. Didn't expect that from Ayatsuji. Don't tell her I said that. Now I'm gonna be real, I love Ayatsuji, but I gotta tell you, nothing that feels all that relevant happens. Well, there is stuff like Ayatsuji questioning our relationship because she has goals for the future, but whenever she's with me, she loses sight of them. And there was one time we see she's not feeling well in class and we say, hey, relax girl, take a break from all the work, you know? And she slaps me. She's been working hard, and me telling her to stop focusing on what she's doing insults her in a way, or something. That's all cool. But then she forgives me, or I forgive her, I'm not exactly sure what happens, in the exact same event. Kinda loses all the weight to me when that happens so fast. And here's the thing, obviously I'm condensing hours of gameplay into like 30-40 minutes, but remember I said the devs intend you to go around dating other girls, and I'm not doing that? Well, my method kinda fucks with the pacing of the storytelling. I'm telling you events as they happen, and I know they seem to be coming at you very fast, but that's because the devs expect you to view one event with one girl, then see, oh shit, this other event is about to expire with this other girl, or you're just interested in her and you want to go talk to her, so you go back and forth between at least 2 or 3 girls at a time. I did not do this because either way you can only get one ending per girl, and I felt for this video and playing through the game on stream, going for one girl at a time would help me be more focused. But then there are moments where I literally just skip ahead days because I've done everything I could with one girl, and this is when they expect me to be with another one, so pacing gets kind of fucked. Obviously mileage may vary, and like Ayatsuji, sometimes some form of conflict happens, but most of these third acts are just you dating the girl, which makes sense, it's a dating sim, and playing it I was having fun, but narratively the events just kinda happen now. There's no real sense of continuity or structure, because the devs don't really know when you're going to experience these things, so most of the time an event will happen and they'll exist in that one space. Maybe they'll have a follow-up, but after that they're just never mentioned or brought up again. And you know, it's not the best thing for me to recap for a video that's about me trying to beat this game, about a girl playing Da-De-Da with me, even though it was hype as fuck. If you really want to know all the details of this 50+ hour playthrough, It's up on my stream archive channel, so check that out if you want to hear Ayatsuji's weird tortoise and hare story. And trust me, I want to talk about every detail of this game, like when me and Ayatsuji went to get melon bread together, which, no joke, is the best scene in video game history. I'm not kidding. Damn, Russ is tripping all the flags. Oh, did she eat it? Since it's Ayatsuji, I guess I should have expected her not to just let me eat like that. Oh, the outside is so crispy, but the inside is nice and chewy. Alright, now this time it's Russ. Oh my god. She's so cute. But I also have 5 more girls to talk about, and 40 more hours of gameplay to go over, so for those staying here, I'm going to skip ahead to the date. See, when you're in the love tier and you do enough events, you can eventually ask your girl of choice out on a date on the last Sunday of the game. There's absolutely no benefit to this gameplay-wise. It's really just an exclusive scene of you dating the girl, so it's really just if you like that girl, which I did, so of course I asked her out. On this date, me and Ayatsuji go to an amusement park together. But again, the content of the date itself is not very important in the context of me beating this route, except for one thing. We learn that the protagonist is afraid of heights, which of course Ayatsuji hones in on and teases me for it. But I want you to remember this about our little Russ-kun here, cause it does come back in other routes. And then, a very weird thing happened where we go to a haunted house and we get, whoa, animation! That sort of freaked me out. But that's not what I'm talking about. Cause after that, well, Ayatsuji for some reason turns into a little girl. I do not know why this happens. The game does not explain why this happens, how this happens. Seriously, it's just a thing that happens. She's a little girl now. And when we leave the haunted house, she's back to normal, but it's not an illusion or anything. The protagonist says she actually has the physicality of a child. What the fuck? And no, they never acknowledge it again. It's some random supernatural phenomenon. What? What the fuck? Okay, forget about that. After some more conversations and dating, finally, I unlocked the last star event, which for every girl in the love stage, their last star event is always asking them out on Christmas Day. So I go to ask Ayatsuji if she wants to date me on Christmas, and of course she's busy with the Christmas party, but she does want to spend time with me that day, so it's a date. Ease claps, boys. Obviously there was some stuff I did in between that time, like Ayatsuji hitting me some more, that was nice. I also saw her panties when the wind blew up her skirt. Let's not make a big deal about it. But I'm just going to skip to the finale of the Ayatsuji route on Christmas Day. Now we meet up and head to the party, and oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned this, Ayatsuji stepped down as the chairperson for the Christmas party at some point, so that's why she's got some free time right now to hang out with me. Apparently the teachers just stuck it on some other girl in school. Well, sucks to be her, cause we're too busy chilling with our waifu. Until Russ notices a guy carrying a familiar looking book go by. And then he hears a familiar voice, which you have not heard since the beginning of this playthrough, but I've been hearing every night. It's Mia, my sister, who set up a shop at the festival where she's selling my porno books. Yeah, seriously. I mean, she's even selling my copy of Low Angle Detectives. That's a collector's item. Well, thankfully I caught her before Ayatsuji found out. Low Angle Detective Team? Oh shit. So, what kind of book is that? It's a book that has a lot of nice girls in it. Hey, oi, oi! Oh god. Bro, he's getting exposed in 4K. Damn. R.I.P. Russ. Luckily, Russ has the great idea of panicking and running away, dragging Ayatsuji with him. It's perfect. She'll never remember. After some more time at the party, Ayatsuji says she wants to take us somewhere alone. Oh boy. Looks like Russ is about to become a man. While everyone is out partying, she sneaks us into the school so we can get a good view of the tree, as the two of us forget about life for a second and all its worries and just dance, baby. We dance the night away to some cheesy Christmas music going on outside. It's actually more of a touching scene than I'm describing, but again, it's really long. But most importantly, the mood is right, it's Christmas, and it happens, gamers. Ayatsuji confesses her love for me. Oh! And I do the same, as the two of us embrace, knowing whatever is up next, we'll face it together. And with that, that's the best ending for Ayatsuji's route. We then get a little after credit scene of the two of us cuddling after the party as the sun's coming up. I guess we partied all night. Now let me tell you, this first run through, which I did with Ayatsuji, took a long time, mainly because I was still getting used to the game, I was figuring out how to translate stuff properly, and of course I fucked up in the beginning there. But I gotta tell you, I had a fun time. I also really liked Ayatsuji, maybe that's because I'm a huge sub and her whipping me like a slave was hot as fuck. But seriously, I cut out a lot of this game's great writing. Even through Google Translate, the game had a lot of funny moments and interesting dialogue choices. It's probably one of the funniest games I've played, and trust me, it gets better from here. Remember, we're barely 20% done. God help me. So if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm kind of a weird guy. So when playing this game, I came up with a weird headcanon that this main character in this game is the same person for every playthrough. He has just been constantly killed after getting with every girl by being run over by a truck and being reincarnated in a different body back to that one point where he said, I'm going to spend Christmas with a girl. So now he's dating all these girls so he can find the one timeline that won't cause the world to reset. I came up with that just so I can justify changing my name every playthrough. Don't judge me, I'm just John Stew. And John is pretty depressed after finding this out, cause he had a pretty good master-slave relationship going on with Ayatsuji. In fact, now he just spends all his days at school doing nothing, that's how depressed he is. He decides to maybe perk himself up in more ways than one, as before he heads home, he remembers hearing a rumor today that Umehara has some new treasure video. That's code for porn that they use in this game. And he's hoarding it all to himself. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure what happens here, the translation kind of glitched out, but I think Umehara gives us some BS about how he wanted to test the video out before talking about it, and he wasn't trying to hide it. Yeah, sure, bud. Look, I'm sad, man, I just want to see some titties. And before even anything else can be said, he just ditches me. Way to live up to the bro code, dude. Well, whatever, John Stew is a man of culture, so he's got his own treasure videos at home that he can go jerk- Oh, God! Oh, it's just a gremlin. Wanna go home together? What? This is Rihoko Sakurai, my childhood friend in this timeline. We spent a lot of time together in elementary and middle school, but grew apart around high school. Haven't seen her in a minute. Her recently she joined the tea ceremony club, and that's usually where she spends her days after school, but I guess she's free today. And apparently Umehara told her I was free and wanted to see if we can go home together. Umehara, you bastard. Also, we meet Kanai, a classmate of Rihoko. She'll show up sometimes. But before Kanai leaves, she comments about how I'm Rihoko's husband. Ew, me married to that gremlin? Yeah, right. Well, since I got blue balls and nothing to do, I decided to go home with Rihoko. We have a conversation about how Rihoko is so clumsy, always falling over. She says that's not true, and then immediately falls over. I mean, hey, I'll give it to the game in 5 seconds they explain all of what this girl is about. The next day, it's a cold one, and I see Rihoko, so I decided to do a little funny on her and put my cold hand on her cheek when she isn't looking to surprise her. Oh, John, you rascal. The two of us then get into a conversation about how Rihoko prefers the summertime heat to the winter cold, and this gets John to imagine her in a school swimsuit. Which, John, bro, if you're gonna be a pervert, you couldn't imagine anything better than a school swimsuit? Well, his perversions lead the conversation to swimming, and we find out that Rihoko can't swim, and is taking supplementary swimming lessons here at the school. I guess it's the thing they offer? The next day, it's a cold one again, and I see Rihoko again, so we kinda have to, right? Except this time, well, this happens? Now, from what I gather how this happened is that Rihoko was so surprised this time, she stood straight up, which somehow forced my arm down her shirt. Okay. Luckily, we managed to get her to forgive us by apologizing. It was honestly very easy. Then John has to comment to himself about how warm her back was. I didn't need to know that, John. Well, whatever, the next day Wait, is that? Ayatsuji-san? Oh no. Oh god. I'm sorry, Ayatsuji, I can't. You're really hot. God damn it. And I guess seeing Ayatsuji again reminded him of the good old days, and now he's all horny because he's just thinking about touching Rihoko's back. That's when, ooh, jump scare, Rihoko gets her revenge by putting her cold hand on us. Well, still 2-1 Rihoko, don't get too cocky. Wait, she touched me with this disposable hand warmer. She noticed I was cold a lot, so she bought one for me. Oh, how nice. I'm still getting you back for this later, you grumble. Anyways, it's time for lunch. Hope you're serving tacos today. Hey, Days guy over there. Huh, what? Me? I'm sure we've met before. John, right? Hey, let's hang out for a while. What? Who are you? Huh? Rihoko Sakurai? No, you know how you look at it, that's not Rihoko. I mean, maybe we know each other? I guess?
Shut up! 男のくせに細かいことをブチブチと
God, it's such a man's habit to blurt out unnecessary details.
うるさいやつめ
Yeah, just shut up. What? Who are these people? These two are members of the Tea Ceremony Club, Rihoko Yuzuki and Manaka Hiba, two third-year students, and as they described, director and deputy director of the Tea Ceremony Club. I love these two. I wish they were roots or something or had more to do. They're more of a comedy duo, with Yuzuki being the more fast talker with all the comebacks and is a bit more eccentric, and Hiba is slower and softer speaking but is just as unhinged, as she's usually reaffirming whatever Yuzuki said. Legit, I want to show every second of every scene these two are in, because they are always hilarious. Go watch my playthrough if you want to see them, but for now, what do these guys want with John Stew? Well, they need me to help them carry a kotatsu to their club room. John's just like, okay? After helping them, they make me some TS thanks, and John asks a pretty good question. How do they know who I was, even though we've never met? And it's because Rihoko is apparently always talking about me, since she joined last year. Well, that's not creepy. While I'm there, I notice the club room is kinda nice. They even have a mini fridge. And I ask, where'd you get a mini fridge from? What? From the physical education instructor's office? What? Wait, so you mean you stole it?
おいおい、そいつは人聞きが悪いな。リサイクルだよ。リサイクル。
Hey, we're not bad people, okay? We were recycling it. Recycling. Oh, it's used. I see.
廃物の有効利用。
Executive use of waste. I like these two way better than the childhood friend. I want to hang out with these two. Oh great, then the gremlin shows up, ruining the vibe. I'm trying to rizz up my senpai Rihoko, take a hit. And I was surprised here, cause after about an hour of gameplay, I unlocked Rihoko's star event. Already. I was shocked cause I feel like I didn't really do anything to progress this relationship. I mean, with Ayatsuji, it took me one reset in like 2 or 3 hours. In my opinion, I don't know if it is true. I think Rihoko is meant to be easy mode, because she's your childhood friend, so she already likes you. You don't really have to do anything to get her to like you, just hang out with her. So yeah, since that happened faster than usual, I guess I'll explain this conversation mechanic now, because by this point, I had pretty much figured it out. Let's talk about this last option first. It says attack. This option opens up after you have accomplished several different things. First is max out a girl's tension gauge. It's this thing in the top left. To do this, you need to access certain events, and some of them require you to make the correct choice, but most of them you just get it by watching the event. Then the next thing is make sure the girl's tension is high. That's that thing in the top right. You get their tension high with the actual conversation mechanic. Now this is where this gets a little complicated, as right under the tension reader are the correct choices for each level. As you can see, there are 4 per section and per level of affection. Yes, out of the 9 things you can ask, only 4 are considered correct and raise her tension, as well as giving you more insight into the waifu, where they actually answer your question. All the others lower it, and you get no special dialogue. As you can see, there are 5 turns, and each turn has a different correct answer, as well as there being a different correct answer for each turn on each stage of tension being low, mid, or high. And then after maxing out the tension gauge, you have to now make the right choices by picking the right topics at the right stage on the right turn, which will give you either music notes or hearts in the tension gauge. You fill it up and then you can attack, which gives you a special reward scene. Now this scene is dependent on what affection level you are on and is the main goal for this mechanic. Now I know, a lot of that sounds very complicated, and it gets a little more complicated when you start to wonder what's the difference between hearts and notes. Well, I honestly don't know. Now from what I can tell from this game's art gallery, if you fill the bar with all hearts, the reward scene is slightly different, usually meaning it's more sexual, I assume. I never filled it with all hearts, so I can't really say. I honestly couldn't be bothered because this mechanic was fucking crazy, as you can tell from me describing it. Now yes, all of that is as complicated as I made it sound, especially when you're playing the game in a different language. But here's the thing. This conversation mechanic is completely optional. There are only 2 exceptions on my playthrough where I actually had to do this to progress my relationship with a girl, but for the most part it is completely unnecessary to getting and ending or progressing a girl's route. The only reason to do this is to see all the scenes, you know, if you're a completionist. Which I am, so I decided to make it a mission to see at least 1 reward scene for each girl at each level. I'll talk about some of them, but if I don't bring it up, it probably was not that great. Like that scene I described earlier with Ayatsuji and the melon bread, that was one of the reward scenes. I will say this was the only thing that official guide was actually useful for, because following the flowcharts in it without knowing Japanese is kind of impossible, but luckily this had pictures. And if it weren't for this guide, I would not have done this at all, because let me tell you, this mechanic is fucking stupid. You really only know what the correct choice is if you pick it. And yes, sometimes the same answer is correct twice during certain turns at certain levels. Luckily, after a conversation, you can save the game, reload, and the game will remember all the correct and incorrect choices. So without the guide, this is a huge guessing game that you have to figure out with trial and error by picking what things are right, what things are wrong, which get hearts, which get notes, and pretty much write it down and make sure you pick the right ones each playthrough. Now after describing all of that, is Rihoko's reward scene in the first stage worth it? Kinda. You can see these scenes multiple times, and sometimes they can change. In this one, you poke Rihoko to mess with her. In the first one, okay. But then in the second one, this happens. Oh shit, she caught me. That was the same thing again. That's still pretty awesome. Yeah, she puts your finger in her mouth. I'm not going to say what John thinks about this, but let's just say he enjoyed it a little too much. Now, after all of that conversing, John is bored, so he decides to go see the gremlin again to fuck with her. But she's not in her classroom, and Kanai tells me she's in the club room. Cool, thanks, bye. I find Rihoko in the club room and sit under the Gatatsu with her, and we reminisce about old times. Like, there's something about a bike, and... okay, look, I'll be real. I do not like Rihoko as a romance option. She's cute and all, but personality-wise, she's just stupid and eats a lot. That's it. Now, I wasn't expecting a huge twist or change in her personality like Ayatsuji, and spoilers, the rest of the girls are all pretty normal. They stay the same. There's no crazy twists in their routes either. But Rihoko's route is just not interesting to me because it feels like you're already dating. I know that's the point, she's the childhood friend and she's meant to be easy mode. But because of this, the actual scenes are nothing burgers to me. Like after this clubroom scene, we go shopping with her and stuff happens. Like she talks about she's into palm reading and she decides to read our palm. And yeah, there's stuff going on, but it's nothing really happening. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really hard to describe. I would have to show a scene in full, but again, they're pretty long. It's just mostly a bunch of small talk like you're having a conversation with your childhood friend. Which is exactly what she is, but to me that's fucking boring. There's no event or anything that gets her to like me more or progress the relationship because she already likes me and we're already pretty much dating. Just haven't made it official. It's boring. To be honest, if I wasn't doing this for a video, I would have skipped past all of her dialogue options just to get to the best ending and unlock all the stuff because again, I'm a completionist, because I just stopped caring. Now I'm sure for some people this is peak waifu material, but nah, I was not feeling her, so excuse me if I start skipping a lot of her stuff. Don't worry, you're not missing much. A few days later, I return a porno DVD to Umehara, and he asked me my favorite girl in the video. John said that the girl in the back. Umehara says, oh, that one kind of looks like Rihoko, doesn't it? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Then Umehara pulls me to the side to tell me, hey, you know there's a rumor going around that you got a girlfriend, John? I'm like, what? John is shook. He doesn't know who this possible rumored girlfriend could be. Could it be the only girl I'm spending time with right now? Nah, that can't be it. Yeah, of course it's Rihoko, as Umehara tells him. And he's like, what? Rihoko? That gremlin? Nah, me and her, that ain't gonna happen. Umehara says, yeah, you may think that, but does she think that? Because literally John is the only human being in the world that thinks they're not dating right now. But John just cannot fathom a world where him and this gremlin are banging. Like, ugh, that's impossible. Next day at lunch, I decide to eat with Rihoko, and she's eating some food with a special white sauce, and she happens to get some on her face, and then she proceeds to wipe it off and eat it. Now, I think this is a normal non-sexual act, but John is bricked up as fuck, saying, oh, that was kind of sexy. I mean, she's eating, bro, it ain't that deep. Yeah, the sauce is white, but like, is that all you need? I don't know, I guess some people have weird fetishes. Did I mention how I miss Ayatsuji teasing me? Another day, around lunchtime, I noticed a grown woman standing around the school gate. Now, I got excited because I thought it was going to be some new MILF character, but no, it's Rihoko's mom. She's not even important enough to get a character portrait. She's here because Rihoko forgot her swimsuit, because if you remember, she said she's taking supplementary swimming lessons. And Rihoko was so happy that I came to give her this that she wants me to stay and give her tips on swimming. I decided to stay, and when John sees her in a swimsuit, he wants to give her a tip, alright. Alright, I guess I'll mention this now since I've been pretty subtle about it. In this route, the protagonist is really horny. Now this is not unusual for this guy. He is a teenage boy and he gets perverted in other routes too, but they really hammer it in this route that he is constantly sexualizing Rihoko. Now again, I understand why they're doing this, is so, you know, the protagonist can be like, well, my childhood friend kind of thick as fuck. But again, I don't really like this character, so I don't really care. It also just comes off as John being a little too gung-ho about this situation. And I think it was here that I kind of understood why I don't like Rihoko. She kind of acts like a child. I've seen this trope before in anime, this character that kind of acts like she's fucking 12, and let me tell you, it's just something I'm not really into. And I think the fact that they made her kind of thick is supposed to be a reason to like her. Sorry game, you can try to appeal to my man instincts all you want. I'm not going to jail today. For Ayatsuji, sure, but not her. John doesn't seem to mind though, as seeing her in a swimsuit has really fucked him up. He can't even stand up straight. Like, he is so turned on from seeing her in a swimsuit, he actually can't look her in the eye. Bro, what is wrong with you? Have you never seen a woman in a swimsuit before? Next day is this weird scene that comes out of nowhere. A bunch of girls with no portraits call me out the back of the school, saying I saw one of their friends' panties and that I'm a pervert and should apologize for it. what? They're real aggressive about it too. And I'm like John in the situation, like, what the hell is this? Why is this happening? There was no build up or anything to this situation. Oh, it's so Rihoko can show up and talk about how it couldn't have been me because I'm such a nice guy and I wouldn't do something like that. Oh, Rihoko, sweetie, if you knew what this guy's thoughts were in that last event like I do, you would be on this girl's side and say, you know what? It's plausible. Another day I find Rihoko on the roof stuffing her face like usual. When she asks me out of the blue, is there a girl I like? She says she doesn't really know, a classmate of hers asked, and John, the dumbass, believes her and says, yeah, there's a girl he's concerned about, and that's good enough for Rihoko, I guess. Now, in between all this, I was able to unlock Rihoko's Stage 2 reward in the Affection stage, and let me tell you, it's not for me. In this one, John has some new nail clippers he bought and brought them to school for some reason, and wants to test them out, so he asks Rihoko if they can go to the tea ceremony club room to cut her nails. She says yes, and I'll give it to John, he did mean cut her hand nails. But yeah, this ain't for me, Chief. I'm not going to show a lot of it, and I don't really want to talk about it. But hey, I'll give this to the devs. They are now, and we'll continue to cover a lot of bases with this game. If you're into something, it's probably in this game. Next day, I'm talking with Umehara, and suddenly he asked me to talk on the roof. He asked me, hey, how are things going with Rihoko? And John's like, okay, I guess. I mean, whatever. That's when Umehara tells me, apparently, some guys have come to him to ask about Rihoko's relationship status. John's like, what? That gremlin? Dudes actually want to tap that? And Umehara's like, nigga, come on, stop with this gremlin shit. Everyone knows you want to tap that too. Except you. And I'll admit, this part of the route is kind of neat, as instead of it being the girl falling for us, it's about the main character falling for the girl. They pull out the old Uno reverse card on you. Cause yeah, if you haven't noticed by me addressing that it's the main character himself doing these things in this game, he is an actual character. He actually has a personality. He's not some blank slate to embody you as you decide everything this character does. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, John doesn't know what to do with these feels he's got for Rihoko. So he's wandering around school when we run into the tea club senpais again. Oh, thank God, I really miss them. They don't really seem to care why I'm wandering around school, but they invite me into the club room for tea. And they just reaffirm what we already know, that Rihoko is pretty popular with the boys, even the third years apparently. And yeah, even they assume that I was already pretty much dating Rihoko. Kind of an unnecessary scene in my opinion, but always good to see my senpai. Oh, by the way, is Rihoko late? Huh? No, she's not coming today. She went home. Huh? Oh, I guess you came to see her, huh? No, that's not why. Oh, so you came to see us? I guess we're pretty popular. No, I didn't come for that either. Oh, so you'd like to join the club after all. I love these two, they're funny. I like them. The next day at lunch, I'm waiting on the roof for Umehara, who's getting some bread for us, and I overhear Rihoko and Kanai underneath me. I guess they're in a classroom or something? I don't really know. And that's when a girl comes up to Rihoko and gives her a love letter? For her? What? John cannot believe that that gremlin girl got a love letter. And Umehara's like, yeah, I know, I'm the one that sent it. And John's like, what? But then Umehara says, the sender's name doesn't say him, it says John. That's when Kanai shows up and says, apparently this was their plan all along to hook me and Rihoko up. They're sick of seeing us flirting and doing all this other crap without actually making it official and just want us to get on with it already. So they cooked up this whole plan to force us to be together. And look, I will admit, this scene is actually kind of sweet, of the two friends finally showing their affections that they've been hiding for each other this whole time. Too bad I don't care. I do confess to Rihoko that I do want to date her, and then she kisses me without asking. Okay, Rihoko, in a relationship there's a thing called consent. Ask for it next time. But yeah, we're dating Rihoko now. Yay. And if you think I skipped a lot with Ayatsuji in the third phase, you bet your ass I'm skipping a lot here. Even during my playthrough, gonna be honest, I was so far gone at this point. I skipped so many days at events knowing that I didn't need to do them to get the best ending. I just so don't care about Rihoko, man. I just... Especially in the third act of Rihoko's, because let me tell you, most of these events are just the protagonist and Rihoko flirting. It's constant, and honestly kind of pissed me off. Yes, I was getting jealous of two anime characters in a video game. I'm a very petty person, okay? I'm not the only one bothered by it, as it does bother the T-senpais who seem to be dealing with it a lot since apparently I'm hanging out all the time in the club room with Rihoko. Yuzuki-senpai is especially pissed since, well, the translation didn't work that well again here, but I think some guys in her class talked about how she should be more like her cute junior that's in her club and then she would have a boyfriend. This is when the protag goes a little bit too far with his stupidity. But why can't Yuzuki-senpai just get a boyfriend? Are you trying to pick a fight? No, I was just saying, you know, you're pretty beautiful. He starts saying how Yuzuki-senpai shouldn't feel bad about being compared to Rihoko because Yuzuki is more mature and has that adult charm and Rihoko is a kid. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with anything John's saying. He's spitting right now. And I guess this really strokes Yuzuki-senpai's ego as she starts playing around too much, teasing me, saying, hey, if I think she's so great, why don't I go out with her? Trust me, senpai, if I could, I would. More importantly though, the next day, it's my birthday again! And yes, of course, this time Rihoko shows up at night to give me a gift. At least it makes sense she knows where I live. Her present for me is a kiss on the cheek. Okay, I'll admit, that's cute. But considering she tongue wrestled me before, it's really not that great of a gift. Also, she did not ask for my consent again. We gotta start setting some boundaries here, Rihoko. The next day at lunch, I see Yuzuki-senpai again and have a chat about a survey a student was doing to improve the cafeteria's menu. Since she's graduating and doesn't care, she advocated for sweet udon. I mean, I'd eat it. After she leaves, I see Rihoko and try to say hi to her, but she runs away from me for some reason. Huh, that's weird. Well, it's best to nip this thing in the butt now, I guess, if there's a problem, so I chase after her. Turns out she got all jealous seeing me with senpai because of all that stuff I said the other day about how pretty she was. I mean, I was right. I wasn't like telling lies or anything. John quickly goes into damage control, being like, nah, baby, nah, you're the only one I see. I mean, yeah, I'm glancing at 5 other girls right now, but nah, it's all you, baby, it's all you. And that works. Nice job. The next day, apparently Umahara tells us he's got a date on Sunday. Hey, good for him. He deserves it. He's a real bro. I haven't talked about him much, but I actually like Umahara. He's a really cool character, and like I said, he's just kind of a real nigga, man. He's the kind of homie you just want to hang out with and know it's always going to be a good time. Honestly, I like all the side characters in this route more than the main girl. The T-Club senpai are great, Umahara is my nigga, and Kanai I don't see often, but yeah, she's pretty cool. Even Takahashi-sensei showed up again in this route once. I'd rather date any of those people than the one I have to. Seriously, man, I'm not feeling Rihoko. I hate to keep reiterating it. In fact, I wasn't into her so much that I decided to skip the date. Yeah, I did not want to do that. It's not needed for the best ending, so fuck it, I'm doing a beeline to Christmas. After that, the next day, John does the impossible and asks a girl to spend Christmas with him. And she says yes. Yes. I can finally end this. So it's the big day, and we decide to meet up later in the day, so at noon, John decides to sleep. But he sleeps too much and sleeps past the time we said we meet. Luckily for him, Rihoko is also stupid, I mean, adorable and quirky, as she also overslept. Wow, these two are made for each other. Seriously. We went around town for a bit and decided to get some cake and other goodies and have a little Christmas party at my house with the folks. But we come back to a note from Mia saying her and my parents went out for dinner together. So gulp, me and Rihoko are home alone. You know what that means? It's time to smash. Now I don't own any Nintendo consoles. But aw man, Mia comes back right when we're about to get to business. It's about to become a man, Mia. You'll regret this. You're the new gremlin now. After that, we play Twister. Sure, whatever gets this over faster. After all that fun stuff, I walk Rihoko home where I have to, I guess. Tell her I like her, and she tells me she likes me. I love you too, Stu. I really love you. Oh, whoops. We kiss. It ends the night. Best ending yet. Thank God it's over. Now let me tell you, I skipped through the epilogue too. I did not care to translate it, but it looks like I proposed to her sometime in the future by putting the ring in a cupcake. That's pretty cringe. Well hey, at least they ended up happy and they're gonna get married. It's too bad for Rihoko, a truck comes out of nowhere to crush John. After that horrific moment of terror, John Stu finds himself reincarnated as Rad Lad. All this reincarnation stuff has given him a tummy ache, so he decides to head to the nurse's office to get some medicine. Before he goes in, he hears some strange noises inside. Oh no, someone's in trouble. Rad Lad to the rescue. My god, that woman is being molested by some pervert. Not on my watch, I'm the only pervert around these parts. Oh shit, it's Mia. Haven't seen her in a while. But I guess perversion runs in the family. The chesticles my Emoto's groping belong to our next waifu, Sae Nakata, a first-year student. Honestly, I chose her because, well, I do think she's cute, but then I saw her and realized she's a lolly, a big titty lolly, an archetype I'm not personally into. So I figured after going through one girl I didn't like, I picked another one I expected to dislike, but buckle up kids, this one's a roller coaster. So why was our sister groping Sae? Well, she wanted to see if they were fluffy. You can fill in the rest yourself. And Mia claims that they're friends anyway, as they're in the same class. Then Mia comments on Sae's developed body despite being a first year, which Rad Lad of course notices right away. Great, he's creeping this one too. This of course makes Sae uncomfortable, and she runs away. Mia blames me for that, cause Sae is really shy and not good around men, so me showing up spooked her. Man, this whole family is fucked up. I don't want to meet their parents. Later that day, I decided to apologize to Sae for what Mia did, at least that's what I think Rad Lad was trying to do, but when he finds Sae who's in the middle of gym class, he just stares at her boobs, and she gets uncomfortable again and runs away. Looks like a cool name can't change a poonhound. Well, the next day, I find Sae again on the roof and actually manage to apologize for what Mia did, and for me being a perv. She forgives us and says what Mia did was fine, cause they're friends. Yeah, I grope my friends all the time. She runs away again though, cause Lad brings up her chest getting groped in a very direct way. Well, at least I apologize, and hopefully Mia can keep her sapphic desires in check. Damn it. I think we should just stay out of this one, Lad. Me and Sae clearly have something going on. Let's move on to the next girl. Before that though, gotta go eat some lunch. It's crowded today, so Lad chills back to decide what to eat till it thins down. Yes, I remember. Oh wait, I know that timid voice. It's Sae. She's trying to get past the crowd, but she's getting pushed back. Whoa, a little too much. She gets pushed back into my arms. Hey, watch where you're going, Sae. I'm trying to decide what to eat here. She thanks me and seems incapable of being assertive enough to make it past the crowd, so, being the chivalrous guy I am, I go buy her food for her. She pays me back for it, and seeing she's alone, I ask her if she wants to eat with me, and she agrees. Oh man, you know, if she wasn't gay for my sister, I guess I would have pursued her route. Too bad we can't. Anyway, later in PE, Lad is thinking about what girl to back on next when Umihara comes up to us to inform the player, Lad, we're doing soccer outside, and the first year girls are out here too, on the other side of the field. Cool, thanks Umihara, I'm busy thinking about my next conquest over here, I don't care. Well, I do have to play soccer, I gotta pretend I'm a good student until that truck kills me again. So I decide to put in a medium amount of effort, not too much, and I manage to pass the ball to a player that scores a goal, and my team wins. Hell yeah, minimum amount of effort works all the time. On my way back to the locker room, Sae comes up to me. Oh yeah, Umihara said the first years were having gym outside today. She says she saw my sick pass that won the game, and she thought I looked so cool, like a real soccer player. I don't watch soccer, I don't know any soccer players. She then starts looking at me all funny. What's with that look? Do I have something on my face? Well, she leaves because we all have to go back to class. Then Lad wonders, wait, how did Sae even see me do that pass? Was she watching me or something? Nah, that's not possible, she's gay. Once again, I was surprised. I only played like 40 minutes and was already about to unlock Sae's star event. Huh, maybe I'm just nice at this game now. Wish my real life was this easy. It's around lunchtime and we run into Sae again, who says she's on her way to have lunch with Mia. We have a small conversation about some stuff and say goodbye. That's when Mia shows up and says she was surprised. What are you talking about, you little goblin? She says it's weird to see Sae talking to me because she's usually terrible around guys, especially older guys. According to Mia, Sae can't even talk to the male teachers at all. So Mia's confused why she was fine around me. I say it's probably because I'm your brother, she's trying to get to you anyway. So I leave them to do whatever lesbians do together at lunchtime, probably some lesbian shit like talking about their day or something. The next day, Lad's just wandering around in between classes, just thinking about what to do after school. And he's like, ah shit, I forgot to buy the latest edition of that new manga I've been reading. Yeah, maybe the bookstore still has some left. Oh, hey, Sae, what's up? She asks if I'm okay, and I'm like, yeah, I was just thinking about manga. She said I was looking sad as I was walking outside and getting some air, which leads me to ask, wait, how did you know I went outside? How long were you following me? And she runs away. Okay, that was weird. Later in the library, I see Sae getting reprimanded by a male teacher, and remembering she's not good with men, I decide to step in to help out. Afterwards, she looks kind of down about the situation, so I make a joke about how the teacher looks like he's some guy out of Fist of the North Star. Don't ask. This makes her laugh though, then she gives me that weird look again and says I'm nice? You're my sister's girlfriend, so I'm not going to be a dick to you. Then she leaves. Later during class, I'm feeling tired, so I try to take a nap, but then some guys start talking about some girl sitting by the door. She looks cute, so someone should go talk to her. I got to tell them to shut up, I'm trying to sleep. Oh, the girl that we're talking about is Sae. I guess she's here to see me? She asked for me to save her, and the guys are like, to save you? What? You're just trying to see what you wanted, we were trying to help. So I step into the hallway with her, and Sae gets real close to me, and asks me if I have a girlfriend. I get this weird idea that this is a prank from Mia somehow, but Sae says she's asking this herself. Weird. Well, I have had a girlfriend and a fiancé in my 2 previous lives, but I probably shouldn't say that, so I say no. Then she asks me if there is a girl I like, and I say, I like Sae, because it was one of the options they gave me and I decided to full send it. Well, Lad the Sigma corrects it to say, oh, I like a girl like Sae. Like the kind of personality you have, and stuff. She gets all happy for some reason. Ask her why does she even need to know this stuff if she's not down to clown. But the bell rings and we have to go to class. Something's telling me I might have some sort of misunderstanding here. Nah. Anyway, I progress with Sae and I see at night she says I'm her prince, that I'm nice and reliable and stuff, and let me tell you something. Alright, I'm done with the gay jokes. Going after Sae has got me feeling things I don't usually feel. Oh man, this is bad. This is actually kind of doing it for me. This is very different from how I felt with Rihoko. I'm getting the same feelings, but in a different way than when we were Rust Tog, rest in pieces, but I'm getting the same feeling with Ayatsuji. We're not even at stage 2 yet. And my boy's already like, he's not there yet, but he's waking up. Now, I will critique Sae's route for one thing. Her events are really short. An example is the first event after getting her to the next level. I see her carrying a bunch of printouts in the hall, and I help her. That's it, that's the whole thing. Yeah, I don't want every event to be the length of an anime episode, but I don't know, I feel like a little more context is necessary sometimes, just so I can get to know the character I'm trying to mac on better. Now there is kind of a story reason for this, we will see it later, but playing through it and even watching it back now, I just wish they stretch out some of these past a minute. Mainly because I like Sae, I do think she's cute, mainly because of the voice acting of Hiromi Kono. There's a reason I've been putting the voice actresses on screen. All of them do a banger-ass job of portraying each girl and making their personality shine through. Like Sae, when she's nervous, she does this little ano sono thing that's really cute. I'm not made of stone, hearing her call me senpai awakens dark things inside of me. She said that so happy, Jesus. This voice actor's going ham. Moe is not a thing that usually works on me most of the time, but I gotta tell you boys, it's working here. Anyway, in stage 2, I find Sae on the roof later, and she gives me her sad backstory, that she used to go to some fancy all-girls private school. Transferred out of that and came here because the other girls would, well, do what Mia did to her, and apparently would even do things like kiss her on the cheek. Wait, I was kidding, maybe she is gay. Or at least bi. I tell her some BS about how she shouldn't have seen that as bullying or whatever, they probably just liked her. I don't know what kind of nonsense Lad is saying, that sounds like textbook bullying to me, but Sae seems to appreciate it. Later in the day, and I'm not kidding, this is what our main character is doing in this game, he goes behind the school to read a porno magazine so he can jerk off to it. That is an actual thing he's doing. Bro, you can't just wait till you get home? Before he does the deed though, he notices a smashed potted plant on the ground, and decides to clean it up because he thinks someone might think he did it. And that's when of course Sae shows up out of nowhere, and she says, man, I'm so cool and kind for cleaning that plant up, and I'm like, I am? Then she goes on a whole spiel about how she used to think all men were big scary weirdos, but I'm so cool and awesome that I changed her mind. And Lad is like, girl, chill, I just cleaned up a plant. Then she leaves. Man, that girl's got some issues. Wait, was she following me again? Well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't beat my Mia at school. Later after class, it's about to be lunch period when Umahara comes up to me and says that I have a customer. What are you talking about, dude? Oh, it's Sae. She came again to my class. She came this time to, gasp, give me the legendary bento made by a girl. You know Lad is going to scoop that up real quick. I return the bento to her after school and tell her it was delicious, and she says she'll make more for me again. Then Lad is like, oh man, this kid sure is such a good kid. Yeah, despite me, the player, being into her, for some reason it seems like the player character, Rad Lad, is not picking up what Sae is putting down here, that, you know, she is down to clown. Real baka here. He then makes a joke about, man, I wish you were my sister instead of Mia. Then Sae shockingly claps back aggressively saying, no, I can't be your sister, cause she wants to be with me, but as a member of the opposite sex. Well, hey, at least we know she's not into light novels. Also, what the hell, that was basically a confession right there, and the game just moves past it like it was a normal thing. Okay, I feel like we should have dissected that more or had an event to follow up on it. After that, though, the rest of the events in Stage 2 aren't notable to me. It's mostly the same shit, Sae trying to get close to me by being around me and making me stews, and Rad Lad the whole time is like, why on earth is this cute girl doing all this for me? What could this possibly be? What could be the reason? The most interesting thing to happen is she meets Umehara once and runs away because of her male phobia. That was kind of funny. But as much as I like Sae, her second act is not that deep, so let's move on to the star event, which triggers when Rad Lad, in the middle of class, finds a love letter in his desk. Rad Lad thinks to himself, nice try, Umehara. You think I'm gonna fall for this a 5th time this week? Nice try. But then when I read it, I see it's signed by Sae Nakata? Rad Lad is shook. He has no idea why Sae would put a love letter in his desk. Okay, he's really stupid in this route, not gonna lie. This for some reason makes Rad Lad remember that time he was Russ Togg back in his original lifetime, and got stood up on Christmas by some girl 2 years ago. Oh yeah, I forgot, that's our main character's whole backstory as to why he wants to spend Christmas with a girl. It never comes up after the prologue, so I forgot all about it. Well, to make sure Sae doesn't feel the same way I did at that time, I show up to the meeting place behind the gym to at least answer her feelings. That's where meek little Sae shows some balls and does confess to me, and even asks me to go out with her straight up. Lad is like, what the fuck is happening? But luckily I get him to say yes, but then, this guy has the audacity to say, let's call this a trial period? Man, is this guy really not into her? Like, what is this? So what should I call it, a trial period? Is it possible to ask for something like that? What the fuck? What is this guy? A trial period? Bro. You just had a flashback to this. Our whole goal in life is to spend Christmas with a cute girl, and one who is super devoted to you, just laying on your doorstep, legs spread, and you're like, nah, I ain't feeling this. At this moment, I started actively rooting against the main character. I'm not kidding, this little bitch boy has a cute girl ask him out, and he's all, well, I like older women anyway, what's so good about me, why would she want to blah, 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 grow a pair? So I became very antagonistic toward Lad for the rest of this playthrough, trying my best to make sure that he makes Sae the happiest girl in the world, because she deserves it. For example, during the 3rd act, instead of going home to read manga, which is what Lad wants to do, I decide to get Sae from her classroom and go home with her, but oh, she's not there. Cause she was waiting at the school gate for me this whole time, in the cold. For you, lad. Here she asked me to start calling her by her first name, which is Sae. I've been calling her that from the start. For those that don't know, calling someone by their first name is like third base for Japanese people. As an American, I know, I'm kind of an expert, I watch anime. On the way home, I get Sae to tell me all the other stuff she wants me to do to make her happy. So she says things like picking her up from her classroom after school, head pats, taking her to the nurse when she's sick, all really simple stuff, but hey, whatever does it for her. So the next day, I do one of those things, I pick her up from her class after school. She loves it. Then she takes me to a cafe where apparently a rumor is when a couple eats a parfait here together, they stay together forever. Sounds like bullshit to me, but anything for my Sae-chan. Eventually we do get some development for our main character, where he starts hearing rumors spreading about him dating Sae, and he gets all sad about it because he thinks he's not good enough for her and that he's dragging her down because he's got low self-esteem, he's big sad. Look, I get the narrative they're going for, but here's the problem for me, and it's the fact that the main character is sentient and not completely under my control. I, the player, actually want to date Sae. I think she's cute and that she generally likes me, so I want to give that affection back to her, but instead I have to hear this fucking Sigma Beta asshole go on about how much he sucks. I know he sucks. I've done 2 playthroughs of this game already. So instead of me actively pursuing a cute girl I like, I have to force the main character to be a man and not care about what some randos without portraits say and just be happy. Feels like this turned into a Tamagotchi thing. I have to babysit this guy. And yeah, I know he's a teenager and this shit seems like the most important thing in the world to him, but to me he's coming off as such a selfish dick, because it's supposed to be, oh, he does care about her because he's concerned with how she's perceived by the school. But to me he's not considering Sae at all in this, he's just thinking about himself. Because she does not give a fuck about what others are saying around him, and she thinks he's great. That should be enough for him, but it's not. And it sucks because constantly through this last act, she starts to notice he's being all weird around her after hearing all his rumors, and she's like, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you just not want to be with me? And it's like, oh my god, dude, you fucking suck. There's even a part where he tells her straight up not to tell Mia or anyone about us, because he's embarrassed and doesn't want to be made fun of. He actually says that. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what do you think a girl's gonna think when you tell them you don't want people to know that you're dating? Being considerate, my ass. This guy's just a selfish dick. Now, yeah, you can argue this reflects a real-life relationship or whatever, or real-life people with how messy and uncommunicated these two are, but fuck that. I don't want realism, I just want to date cute anime girls. Is that not the whole point of this game? Like I said, Sae eventually picks up on this guy's cuck nature and starts asking if he has regrets with this trial period. We know he does, but he says he doesn't, and she reaffirms she loves him and wants to make this work. And I'll admit, I did like this part where Lad does actually tell her that he thinks she's too good for him and that it's actually his problem he needs to work on. Well, okay, I'll give it to him, at least he acknowledges it and actually communicates with her about it. Normally that would end the day, but I get a rare nighttime event where Mia bursts into my room. Hey, knock, you know what kind of books I read. She starts asking me what I did to Sae, and I said I didn't do anything to Sae. And whoops, cat's out of the bag because I referred to her by her first name, which makes her suspicious. Uh-oh. Apparently during class, Sae fell asleep and was yelling my name, well, my family name, the lads, in a sexy voice saying to stop it. Which embarrassed both Sae and Mia, because, oh yeah, she has my last name too, I forgot about that, you know, her being my moto and all. So she wants to know what I did to Sae to make her dream like that. I mean, what didn't I do to her, Mia? But Rad Lad dodges these accusations like a champ, saying he has to go to sleep for school tomorrow and kicks her out. Nice job, you little bitch. The next day, Sae is now doing little acts to cheer up Lad, like giving him her favorite manga. God, she's so cute, she doesn't deserve him. Well, at least in another event, I see Rad putting in some effort, as he wants to invite Sae out on Christmas, but realizes he doesn't know how to do it or where to take her. So he asks Umehara, who hasn't shown up much, but let me tell you, Umehara is the realest nigga you can have. He says, hey, you got a plan to spend Christmas with a girl, right? And it sounds like you got one, so quit being a little bitch. Sometimes men gotta take the plunge, cause it's better to try and fail than not try at all. Damn, Umehara keeping it 100. I mean, it's better advice than Mia gives me, which was to buy her yakiniku and an expensive coat for Christmas. Thanks, sis. More importantly, today's my birthday. Again. And of course, Sae comes to give us a gift after finding out our birthday from Mia. And Sae definitely gives us the most unique gift of all the girls, even the ones we haven't seen yet. She gives me a photo book. A gravure photo book of her in various outfits like tiny swimsuits and Chinese dresses and cosplay, and she's also in some unique poses. She got the idea when she asked Mia what I was into, and Mia said magazines like this. Damn it, Mia, but also thank you, Mia. Also, how did Sae take these? Did she hire a professional photographer or something? No, that must have been way too expensive. I don't know, man, it's anime, I shouldn't read too much into it. Well, for that great gift, the next day I decided to ask her out on a date on Sunday. Not much happens between then, so let's get to that date. Which is really short compared to Ayatsuji's. It's less than half the length. I meet her at the park and I'm like 5 minutes late and notice Sae looks pale, and she tells me that she's actually been here since 11. 2 hours before our meeting time of 1 o'clock. Cause she was so happy that she couldn't sit around the house. Okay, Sae, I do like you, but you gotta dial back the moe just a smidge, okay? Sae takes the reins of the date and takes us to a hotel which is having a mixed bathing spa session or something, which means, oh yeah son, fan service. Fan service lad definitely does not deserve. This one isn't as supernatural as the last one, but the spa has those fish that eat the dead skin off your feet. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, it's a thing. It's just an excuse to see and hear some things not fit for YouTube, but yeah, it's the whole date we go to a hotel and have fish suck our feet. Okay, well I did everything else for Sae, so time to ask her out for Christmas. I love a little detail that when I ask her, she's so happy, you can see her model illustration thing shaking. She's flippin' adorable, man. Why did you not want to sex her? We decided to meet up at 1 o'clock on Christmas at the park. So on Christmas Day, at the meeting time, of course, Rad Lad, the Giga Chad, oversleeps. Again, by 30 minutes. Nice job, dumbass. He ends up being almost an hour late, and of course, Sae doesn't mind, but I do, because she has a whole day planned for us, starting with going to the top of the newly built port tower. Oh, yeah, if you forgot from our Ayatsuji date, the main character is afraid of heights, but luckily he decides to be a man and suck it up because Sae worked hard on this. When they get to the top, he immediately pusses out though and admits that he's not good with heights, so we head back down. And now she's all sad because you couldn't handle a little several story climb because of your stupid crippling fear, pussy. Luckily the rest of the day goes alright, we wander around town, I buy Sae some gifts. Yeah, it's going pretty nice. Until some of the lights around town remind Rad about that time he got stood up again 2 years ago. Jeez man, get over it. That was 2 reincarnations ago. It ain't that deep. You were in middle school. Hey, this is it. Finally, after all this time, it clicks for him. He actually has a cute girlfriend that is actually here for him on Christmas. And he does it. He actually thanks her. Oh, well, it's something. Then the unexpected happens. Sae says, "It's okay. I don't have to force myself anymore." She's noticed how Rad is around her sometimes and that she keeps messing up and hurting him, like taking him up to that tower when he hates heights. So, surprisingly, she calls it off, saying she was really happy but clearly he doesn't want this and she's sorry for forcing him. And then she leaves. She runs away. Wow. I was shook. With how much Sae loved me, I did not expect her to break it off. After that, I get a choice, and of course, I choose to go after Sae. So Rad runs all around town screaming for Sae, trying to find her, but nothing. He even tries a school Christmas party where he sees Imahara, but she's not there either. He goes to the train station, maybe she's taking the train home, but he can't find her. He doesn't know what to do. And that's when he realizes what he has to do. All this time, he realizes he wanted to spend time with Sae. He wanted to be together with her. He was so self-conscious about what other people thought, he never thought about what Sae wanted. So he decides to give her the thing she's been wanting this whole time. At the top of his lungs, he screams the one thing she's been waiting to hear. Boku wa Sae-chan, I love you! Wow, the coolest moment he's had so far in this whole game. But it's too late. She's not around anymore. It's gone. His one chance at happiness, and he blew it. Movie. What? Huh? Could it be? Masaka? Wow, okay, I'm kind of yeah, I'm kind of into this. This feels like I am kind of watching a romance drama. Man, I feel this whole road's been a roller coaster of emotions. Sae-chan, Sae-chan. Oh my god. Sorry I made you feel so anxious. Sae-chan. Senpai, hold me tighter, don't let go. Damn, I'm sorry. I'm starting to tear up, man. That's right, gamers, we did it. We finally made Rad Lad see the light and go for Sae. And wouldn't it have been perfect if that's where this route ended? Well, it doesn't, because it goes on for like another 30 minutes. Honestly, out of all the 6 girls, I think Sae's best ending is the longest. It took me almost an hour to get through. Maybe it's to make up for her other events being so short, I don't know. So I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit to the end, where Sae takes us to a fancy movie theater, an exclusive private viewing area. Wow, this must have been expensive. And that's when Sae tells me, yeah, she's actually kinda rich, because her dad is the president of some big company. Huh, I guess that explains her going to a private girls' school and how she acts sometimes. So wait, she did hire a professional photographer? Then oh. That's an outfit. The movie starts, but of course we don't watch, as the two, after exchanging what looks like an awkward kiss with a lot of teeth, they bang. And that's not me being my usual creepy self. Look, in the epilogue, she's all preggers. The lad legacy will continue for generations. Best ending achieved. Overall, I did like this route. Yeah, it is the most I will ever hate the main character for being a cuck, but the storyline of him growing a pair and loving Sae was interesting. It actually kind of made me root for him in the end. I said it in the playthrough, that ending was crazy. It saved it a lot, as it went a lot of places I was not expecting. And you know, it's nice to see that for 3 timelines, Rad's finally perfected it. He's finally happy. I mean, he's got a cute wife, he's about to have a kid, and nothing can ruin this joy for him. Why is there a sound of a truck in the hospital? Well, our main character's feeling pretty down after finally finding happiness 2.5 times and then almost having a kid. Just been taken away from him once again. Also, some sick, cruel, merciless god in this timeline named him the most dank, most fucked up thing ever. Kirito SMP. He's named after an SAO Minecraft server. That's gotta suck. So he's pretty depressed. He just spends most of his days now sitting in class, not feeling like doing anything. What the fuck? Someone's biting my ear? Oh, it's Kaoru. Yeah, you remember her, right? She showed up a few times way back at the beginning during Ayatsuji's route. This is Kaoru Tanamachi. I've known her a long time, kinda like Rihoko, but me and Kaoru have never really been that close. We mostly just kinda are around each other. We've been going to similar schools for years and talk sometimes, but that's about the extent of it. Definitely not close enough to bite my ear, what the hell? She says she did it because I had a stupid look on my face. Okay, great. Leave me alone. Then Umehara shows up, and of course he starts egging her on by playing along with her weird narrative of me and her being so close, almost like a couple. She leaves, and I say she's more trouble than she's worth, but Umehara comments how me and her seem real close though, right? And I'm like, really? I don't see it. Later, before the next class, damn it, again? You just leave me to my depression like everyone else? This time she even blows in my ear because I try to ignore her, and then she just leaves. Seriously, what the hell? The next day after school, looks like I have a chance for revenge when I see Kaoru alone in the halls. I sneak up behind her and jump scare her. Gotcha, bitch. But oh, great going, Kirito. You made her cry. Nice job, idiot. Alright, I like that. Baka. That was pretty good. Damn, she got me again. And that was the whole event? Man, she's another short event haver, I guess, huh? Well, since I have time again, I'll mention the music of this game. It's pretty nice. You mainly hear the theme songs of each main girl when they're on screen, and even side characters have them. Which helps to hear the main girl's theme more often, and you've been hearing them throughout this video. And Kaoru's is my favorite so far. It's pretty upbeat and has a catchy tune, and look, I don't know a lot about music, I think it's nice to listen to, okay? So Kaoru actually progresses during one of those forced events where after school, she makes me follow her somewhere, saying I've been chosen to represent the men in the school. Great, this should be good. She takes me behind the school to talk to Tanaka-san. She's another one of my classmates, and her and Kaoru are pretty close friends. They brought me here because a while ago, Tanaka confessed to a boy she likes, and he hasn't given her a reply. In a month. Wow, that's kind of a dick move. But when the two of them met up again, well, the translation kind of fucked up here again, but from what I gather, he said something like he wants a kiss from her to know that this is real, even though he hasn't committed to anything yet. So Kaoru dragged me here to get a guy's opinion on what Tanaka should do. Kirito says to send him a letter about getting an actual answer from him first, and to avoid talking to him in person again because he might start asking for a kiss again. Actually, not terrible advice, Kirito. Look at you. Tanaka says thanks, she'll try that, and leaves, along with Kaoru, who needs to go to a part-time job. Well, hopefully it works out for Tanaka. The next day, it's a nice, normal day. Ah, crap. For some reason, Kaoru is about to beat this jobber up. I intervene and stop her, which gets her to run off all mad. I chase her to the roof and ask her, what the hell? And apparently that was the guy Tanaka likes, and she saw him and his friends reading her letter and laughing, which pissed her off because Tanaka was apparently trying her best, constantly asking Kaoru about how the letter was, how it was written, everything, the contents, and she put so much energy into it, and they just laughed at it. I actually have a weird moment where I agree with our main character Kirito here and say, man, if I had known that, I would have let you stomp that motherfucker. But she's actually happy we stopped her and said it all worked out, because now Tanaka has her answer. He's a dick. Well, I guess, yeah, it kind of worked out. Really a glass half full kind of person, this one. I see Kaoru again later that day, and she's looking all aloof, staring out the window. I guess she's thinking about stuff. And then she asks me, what do I think our relationship is? That's a weird question out of nowhere. I say, well, we're not really good friends. I'd say we're more bad friends, and she thinks so too. She's had this weird feeling that that's gotta change today. Kirito is like, it doesn't really have to, we're fine. She's like, nah, this distance between us, it's gonna go. And then she leaves. What the hell? The next day she puts that plan into action when I see her in the hallway of the Kaoru, personal space, you mind backing up a bit? But then she just gets closer, and Kirito immediately knows what she's doing. She's closing the distance between us. Literally. I say that our relationship isn't going to change by her doing this, and again, to leave it alone, it doesn't matter, but she's determined and runs away screaming, she's gonna make it happen. That was our star event, by the way. Yeah, Kaoru's first act was the fastest one yet. I feel like not much even happened. Tanaka got more development than her. So progressing Kaoru at night, she's in the bath. Ooh, steamy. And she's all like, what the hell, why do I want us to change? When did I even start looking at him so much? I want to know too, I really feel this root more than any of the others. I have not done anything to make her feel different about me. Well, either way, the next day I see Kaoru again in the hall and try to say hi, but she starts acting all weird and she starts backing away from me and avoiding eye contact. I think she must be sick or something, but she says she just can't be around me right now and needs time alone. Probably smell, Kirito. Did you shower after gaming last night in SAO? In Minecraft? Later, I see her again, and she takes me to the science storage room. It's where they store the science. It's surprisingly a room that comes up a lot in this game. It's a weird atmosphere, so Kirito thinks this is a confession, but Kaoru is just apologizing for what happened earlier, which Kirito already forgot about, even though she felt bad about avoiding me. Then she gets mad because I say I thought this was a confession or something, and she leaves, calling me a baka. Well, at least we're good now. The next day during gym class, me and Umehara notice the girls are doing some running, and we notice Kaoru is doing pretty well, but someone manages to beat her time, and it's, oh no, Ayatsuji. Kirito starts getting flashbacks and instinctively starts complimenting Ayatsuji to avoid getting hit. So now Kaoru is fired up and says she's serious and has something Ayatsuji doesn't. Then she takes off her track pants, revealing bloomers. Kirito only thinks with one head, so he starts staring at him. And then she mutters something under her breath. I think she says she has exclusive rights to my eyes? But before Kirito can say, what did you just say? She runs off. Well, if that happened, oh no, it's Ayatsuji-san. I'm sorry, I have to leave. I can't be here, Ayatsuji. I'm sorry. Our time is over. I love you. Later during lunch, I see Kaoru and ask if we can eat together. She says sure. Then it escalates pretty quickly when all of a sudden Kaoru starts saying she wants to kiss me. Kaoru, I haven't even finished my spaghetti yet. Before I know it, she's making out with me, again without my consent. Then she starts saying this kind of relationship between us is nice, right? Kirito's too bricked up to think though and remains sitting there dumbfounded about what just happened. Now I'm going to skip a couple events here, but I want to say, I don't like that just happened, and none of the events afterward address that Kaoru just made out with me out of nowhere. The game acts like that event didn't even happen. It seemed like something pretty monumental, but they just act like it didn't happen, and I kind of hated that. Anyway, another day after school, I run into Umehara on my way out. And then he asked me a weird question, if there was anyone that Kaoru was into. At first I'm like, wait, Umehara, are you trying to tap that? But he says no, it's just a rumor going around, and some guys have come up to him to ask him about it. He's asking me because I spend so much time with her, so maybe I know. And Detective Kirito over here is like, someone Kaoru likes. Who could it be? It couldn't be me, the guy she tongue-fucked the other day. So he says, I don't know, man. Regular Sherlock Holmes, this one. Next day I run into Kaoru and we start a conversation when Tanaka comes over to ask Kaoru the same thing, that there's a rumor going around that she likes someone. And she wants to know what's up with that. Kaoru deflects this by saying she was talking about liking that big Hollywood actor. Oh yeah, that person. Tanaka does not buy it at all, but Kaoru manages to weasel her way out of the situation. When they leave, Kirito is again like, a person Kaoru likes, who on earth could it be? Well hey, after this there is an event that acknowledges that these two kissed. Nothing happens in it, but they acknowledge it. Me and her are on duty cleaning up in the science storage room, where she asks me if I have anything going on after school. I'm like, nah. She says she took off her part-time job today and wants to go somewhere with me, and I agree. She cleans this place up fast. So after school, we just go shopping. Yeah, that's all she wanted to do. She just wanted to go shopping. But then afterwards, she takes me to her favorite spot. Seems her dad used to take her here. Oh, he's dead. Don't think I ever mentioned that. And she talks about how her dad was a good guy, cool, kind, and reliable, and wished I could have met him. Then she's like, hey, why haven't you asked me why I wanted to be with you today? And Kirito kind of smoothly is like, because I know you'll tell me when you're ready. Then she hugs him and calls him a baka. Then we head home. Wow, that was probably the most naturally written scene in this whole game so far. Which is followed by some forced fan service. I haven't talked about one of his rewards in a while. A lot of Saes were very tame. So here Kaoru starts making fun of me and how not manly I am. But I say, nah, I am manly. And she's like, prove it. So I say, fine. I'll kiss you. Kaoru was unimpressed by this because she did that to me the other day. Oh, so you acknowledge you did it without my consent. So she's like, come up with something better. And for some reason, they give me options of where to kiss her. There's the crotch of her fingers, as it was translated, her belly button, or her nose. I personally don't want to put my mouth on any of those places, so I say the belly button, because I guess I have to choose. And she agrees, and we go to a corner in the library where the game really simulates what pressing my face against this woman's stomach is like, and I'm kind of uncomfortable. But I guess it works out because she was into it. What writer managed to get their fetish into the script? whatever, she liked it, so we move on to the third act. And you may notice this is the first time we made it to the last love stage without there being any sort of confession or the two of us saying we're dating. Interesting, huh? It's actually not. Well, the next day I'm looking for Umehara for some reason, and I see Kaoru and ask her if she's seen him. She says no. And that's the problem. That's all she says. No snarky comment, no strange joke to add or anything. She appears to be deep in thought, says, yeah, something's happening, and leaves. Okay, what was that about? Well, I find it after school when Kaoru asks to talk to me behind the school around the flower pits. And then the game gets probably the most serious it ever gets, in my several playthroughs anyway. The other day, after getting off work, Kaoru saw her mom together with some guy she's never seen before. Then one thing led to another, and they got into a fight when her mom said she's thinking of remarrying. And now Kaoru is feeling all sorts of things, saying the reason she got a job was so she wouldn't be a burden, that she does all her housework, her own laundry, she wanted to prove that the two of them could survive together, and then she screams out how she doesn't want a new dad. She leaves saying sorry for putting her problems on me, then the game gives me a choice to leave her be or chase her. I honestly didn't know which one to pick here, which one was the right answer, but usually pursuing the girl works, so I look for her and she's at the special spot she showed me last time. I hug her and tell her it's okay, she can cry and feel this way. She doesn't have to be strong all the time and to always remember her dad. She appreciates my effort, but walks away saying that this isn't the stuff she wanted to hear from me. Okay, Jesus, when did this shit get so real? 30 minutes ago, I was making out with your belly button. Then the game does something I think it's kind of cool, which is I can't interact with Kaoru for a few days, which makes sense considering what just happened. A little storytelling through mechanics. Love to see it. The following Monday, I noticed Kaoru didn't come to school today. Here, the Protag-kun does something I didn't expect. Think about his actions. He thinks back to what he said to Kaoru, and look, honestly, Google Translate was having problems this whole night I was doing this run-through, but I think he says he regrets what he said, he should have considered Kaoru more, and that after school, he needs to find her to see if she's okay. So after school, I stop by my house to drop my stuff off before heading to Kaoru's house. Before I leave, Mia tells me Kaoru's mom called. Apparently, Kaoru didn't come home last night. Kirito instantly runs off to find her, and he tries everywhere, but he eventually finds her working at her part-time job, like usual. Kirito was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's real calm about it and tells me she'll be done working 15 minutes to wait outside because I'm bothering customers. I say fine. And when she's off work, I give her a piece of my mind. Like, what's wrong with you? Your mom's worried, I'm worried, and you're here acting like nothing happened. She's like, fuck you, I'm going through shit, and I would be home by now if you didn't come here to bother me. And after we argue, Kaoru says, you know what? Fuck it. I gave up. She may not want it, but she doesn't want to get in the way of her mom's happiness. Then Kirito apologizes about what he said and that he understands Kaoru doesn't want to be involved with him anymore because of what he did. But then she says no. She wants me to be by her side forever, because she thinks she would have done something way worse if I had been there for her. Then she calls her mom to tell her what's up, and I walk her home, and she says, thanks, I'll be fine now. Okay, I know I condensed that a lot in my description, but let me tell you something. Because at this point, I was like, damn, Kaoru's route's the best written. Like, not only is this like a real problem I can see someone going through, it's actually handled pretty damn well. I see Kaoru the next day, and it's pretty awkward, because I guess we realized the cringe things we said the other day. She's on her way to give the teacher a letter of reflection for missing school yesterday. Ouch. Before she leaves, she says she talked to her mom last night and everything's fine now, don't worry about it. Then before she leaves, I say, hey Kaoru, you know I got you. I'll be by your side no matter what. She says, yeah, I know. Man, to be honest, I like the Protag and Kaoru together. Their chemistry is the best so far. These are the real childhood friends that already act like a couple, not that... what was her name again? Sae? More importantly, it's my birthday, and Kaoru gives me, whoa, the brand new Inago Mass gaming system that comes with the limited edition pre-order figurine. Definitely the most expensive gift. Well, I assume Sae's photo session costs a lot, but she's rich, so that didn't really matter. Anyway, after that, nothing much else happens. There's an event where I see Kaoru outside in a Santa outfit selling things for a store, where I find out she actually has 3 part-time jobs. Damn, homegirl's on that grind. Oh, right, this video is about me trying to beat a video game, right? Well, as you can tell, this game is pretty easy. And by now, I was breezing through this game since I understood the mechanics well enough. And good thing I did, because this is the first time the game actually makes me play the game to progress, as Kaoru's final star event is locked behind her reward. Yeah, you have to play the conversation minigame and do it well in order to get her best ending. I was not expecting that, but again, luckily I knew what I was doing by this point, so it was a breeze. If you're wondering, the reward was just a kiss. Which always made me uncomfortable, not the art, but because every time I saw one of these first-person kisses, I imagined some sad, lonely Japanese guy actually pressing their face up against the TV to kiss their waifu. Hey, if I had to think about it, you do too. Looks like the star event doesn't activate until way later, so in the meantime, I ask Kaoru out on a date. Then we go to the amusement park. Oh god, not this place again. I would recap the date, but it is very long, and honestly, there are a lot of good moments in this that I want to describe all of them. But honestly, me doing that would not do them justice, and again, I don't just want to play the whole thing out, so again, watch my playthrough or play it yourself. F's in the comments for my man Kim and Yon though. He died a real one with his epic dragging along the screen animations. What the fuck? You're desperate, you little bitch. I don't think that's what she said. That would make you desperate? What kind of movement is that? It's disgusting. We do go back to that haunted house, but thankfully instead of a child, Kaoru gets turned into a dude. Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, the game is, and it gets a little homophobic, but it's one moment, don't worry about it. Instead, worry about me finally asking Kaoru if she has plans on Christmas, and she says, yes? Ah, well, nice going, Kirito. It's because you acted all weird when she grew a bigger penis than you. Well, actually, she meant, of course she has plans on Christmas. She's spending it with me. She was waiting for me to ask her, but got annoyed I took so long, so she already added it to her schedule. Damn, girl knows what she wants. On Christmas Day, surprisingly, I'm the one that's on time, and Kaoru is late by like 20 to 30 minutes. And Kirito is all upsetty spaghetti about how late she is. Bro, did you forget you left a girl in the cold for an hour last time, you hypocrite? Now, I'm not gonna go into this ending date a lot, not because it's bad, it's just... honestly, it's mostly a vibe. We go to the beach at sunset, walk around, we do go back to that tower again, and of course finding out I'm afraid of heights, Kaoru teases me a bit, but after that she actually helps me walk out and see the sky and is really understanding and supportive of my fear. It's really nice. And at that moment she takes this opportunity to do what we came here for. I love you, Kirito. Man, how many times has he heard this? She says she likes me and wants to actually be a couple, and of course I agree to this and we embrace on the top of the tower. But then like the last one, it goes on a little bit longer. Would have been fine if it ended there. Because later at night, instead of taking her home, Kaoru has the urge to spend the night at my house. Oh snap. I have to sneak her in, of course, and we gotta sneak her out early in the morning before anyone finds out. And before you ask, no, nothing happens. We even sleep separated, but we do have an intimate moment talking about the future together. And it ends with us taking Kaoru home in the morning on our bike. Whoa, is that the main character's eyes? Is that allowed? Is that... Can we be seeing that? Best ending achieved. And the epilogue is really cute. It's sometime later and we're Kaoru's date at her mom's wedding. Yeah, she did get remarried. Wow, what a nice ending. And playthrough. I think Kaoru is my favorite character in this game. Yeah, I like Ayatsuji and Sae, but that's for anime reasons. Kaoru was the closest character so far to feel like an actual person and not just an anime trope. She didn't just have the most realistic drama with that stuff with her mom. She was also really funny, too. Seriously, if you watch one of my root playthroughs, watch this one. Not just the date, there were a few events I cut out that were very entertaining, but didn't matter for completing a route, so I didn't talk about them. Yo, ordinary boy. You're using unnecessary words again. Can you at least greet me normally? Understood, I'll try again. Huh? You're gonna try again? Ordinary. No, that's not what normal meant. I meant by normal. Man, you're a selfish child. Mom's worried about your future. I'm worried about your future. Yeah, this is good. This is good, Kirito. But now we got 2 girls left, and since Senpai is last, that's right, it's time for another popular trope in these dating games, the sports girl. Take it away, Truck Gun. After dating Kaoru, Dick Suk, it's French, has decided to spend this lifetime chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard, and by that I mean at the arcade with Umehara, where they just released the brand new action shooting game House of the Dead 5 EX. I've been waiting for that all summer. We head to the arcade, but when looking for the new machine, we see a girl we recognize from our school, and she's being yelled at by 2 dudes. Uh-oh. Being the nice guys we are, we step in to help her. The 2 guys realize this ain't worth it and say to watch out for that girl, or she'll trick us too. I wonder what that means. We ask if she's okay, and she doesn't say much, and before we can get any info out of her, she leaves. Didn't even learn her name. Well, forever, who cares about these girls? We got that new game to play. Next day, I'm chilling with Umehara like usual, telling him about a brand new secret cheat code for the new fighting game Mace the Dark Age, and if you input it correctly, all the characters' clothes come off. Sick. I didn't know about that. That's when we see that girl again, who introduces herself as Ai Nanasaki, a first-year student. Character clothes. Oh, you are? So what's your last name? Ai, or your first name, I guess. She came to thank us for helping her out yesterday. Dick makes a comment saying, I must have been troublesome coming to find us, say thanks. She says, nah, it was easy to find you. I just asked her out about the 2 useless second years who always hang around the game center. Okay, anyway, we ask what those guys were mad at her about, and she says it's because she taught them a fake cheat code for a game they were playing. Umehara doesn't get it, but Dick realizes immediately that's not it, cause he's lying to Umehara about that Mace the Dark Age cheat code, and she knows that, and is subtly telling us she found us out. She excuses herself and Dick realizes he just got cooked by a first year. Thankfully no one realized but him. Later, I'm just chilling staring at the sky when all of a sudden someone calls me. Oh shit, it's Takahashi-sensei. She's shown up other times in other routes, but we don't really interact with her much. And I wish I didn't now, cause she's realized Dick has been more lazy lately, and she starts lecturing me about getting my life together. And stuff like I should be setting a good example for my sister who goes to this school, I should be a good older brother. Jeez, I mean I was just looking out the window, it ain't that serious, teach. Suddenly Dick gets distracted because he thinks he sees someone watching him. That's when Sensei gets real close and starts lecturing me some more, and Dick is like, whoa, she's so close, and he kind of starts getting into the fact that she's yelling at him. Hey, my man is starting to see the light. Takahashi-sensei leaves, saying I better start getting my act together or she'll be there again to lecture me, which makes Dick feel weirdly happy that she said that. Also, he can't help but shake the feeling someone was watching him just then. Yeah, whatever. Dick then decides to go to Takahashi-sensei for advice, and for no other reason, that's when he feels someone watching him again. Wait, it's Nanasaki, that girl from earlier. She smiles and tries to walk away, but I catch her and she acts like I'm bothering her. I say, what the heck, why were you watching me? She's like, yeah, I am. It's not a big deal. At least I'm not looking at you like you look at Takahashi-sensei. And Dick starts sweating like, what? I mean, yeah, I was thinking weird stuff, but how did she know? I immediately deny all wrongdoing and she laughs, saying I'm a weirdo, and then she leaves. What the heck, man, I'm here minding my own business and I'm getting cooked like a fish by random women. After all that, I'm ready to head home after school, but Umehara catches me and says I'm coming with him to heaven. Oh great, what now? He says, hey, our pool's heated, right? So, even though it's winter, swim club is still on, and I'm like, yeah, so? And he says it would be a waste to not observe the third-year girls before they graduate, and I'm like, yeah, it would be a waste. After Metal Gearing our way through the school and tricking Takahashi-sensei, we make it to Umehara's best point to spy on the girls. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Now me, Umehara, and Nanasaki can stare at the girls all- Oh shit, Nanasaki, where did you even come from? Apparently she said this is her usual route for jogging and saw us and asked what we're doing. We make up some bullshit and get the fuck out of there. Dick does comment, man, Nanasaki sure showed up at the worst time. Again, crazy coincidence. Later I get one of those rare nighttime events where Mia comes in my room and asks if I did anything to Ai-chan. Oh, she means Nanasaki. Also, I feel like I've had this conversation before. I say no, I didn't do anything, why? And she says cause Nanasaki came to Mia earlier in school and asked if she had an older brother, and when Mia said yes, Nanasaki got a weird look on her face and left, so Mia thinks I did something. I keep telling her I did nothing, and then she gets mad and leaves. Jeez, what's with this route, man? I'm just trying to exist, and everyone's coming at me from every angle. It's just like real life. And hey, after that, the next morning, I get a rare morning event before anything that happens during the usual times, where I wake up late and run to school to make it on time. And luckily I do, and see Nanasaki getting a drink from the water fountain when I show up. I say hi, and she spits her water, laughing at me. I mean, yeah, I know I rushed, but I don't look that bad. No, it's because she says there are the words, win a trip to Hawaii on my forehead. Honestly, I was pretty confused here. I wasn't exactly sure what was on my face or what was happening. This really needed an illustration. Nanasaki gives me a towel to get the ink off, and she leaves. Well, at least I made her laugh, but how'd that ink get on my face? Oh. Of course. Yeah, Mia left a raffle ticket on my face when I was sleeping, so I wouldn't forget to go try it after school. Thanks, sis. I'll remember this. Later, I find a handkerchief on the ground and pick it up, and thanks to my master deduction skills, I see a girl with a black ponytail walking away and assume it's hers. And it's actually Tsukasa-Senpai. You remember her, right? Way back during the prologue, she was next to Morishima-SENPAI. They're friends. Don't worry, we'll be seeing more of her from now on, which I don't mind at all. Neither does Dick, because he thinks this is his chance to get in with senpais, if you know what I mean. But then, out of nowhere, Nanasaki shows up again, sees the handkerchief, knows what I'm doing, and says, hey, don't worry about it, I'll do it for you, senpai, and leaves. Wow, okay, now I'm getting cock-blocked. Later during lunch, they're having specials, either a tonkatsu ramen or seafood curry. Ah man, they both sound good, I just can't decide. That's when, of course, Nanasaki shows up, and then she starts laying in on me, saying I'm being a bother to others by being so indecisive, and I say, I'm deciding when I went for lunch, leave me alone. Then she says I need to stop looking at my own senpai with weird eyes, as she puts it. Okay, what are you, my mother? I'm just trying to live. Dick then asks the real question we're all wondering, look, why are you watching me so much and why do you care so much about what I do? She just smiles and leaves. What's with this girl? She needs to get off my dick. Not my actual dick, not my name. I mean, like, my figurative dick, not my actual dick. Okay, we're gonna put Nanasaki on the side for a second. So here's the thing, obviously there are more endings than the ones I'm going for, different variations depending on how you're doing with a girl, but there are also several kind of joke endings that you can get throughout your playthrough, or even bad endings that happen and just end with a game over, and I accidentally got one of these. I just did this event randomly because it was about to disappear, and in it, Dick just can't stop thinking about Takahashi-sensei, so he decides, it's time, no more being a little bitch. Him and Sensei are meant to be together. He looks around for her, but she left, but luckily he sees her driving away, and no joke, Dick runs after her car, chasing her, and somehow manages to keep up with it. Men truly are powerful when they're horny. Oh yeah, also for some reason she stopped and is in a weird back alley. Yeah, whatever. Sensei is all like, what are you doing here? Did you run here? But no time for explanations, this is about love. Dick finally does it, well I do when I get the choice, and I ask Takahashi Sensei to marry me. She's flattered, but she says the obvious, she's like 10 years older and my teacher, so no. She does say it would be different if I was graduated or something, and I say it doesn't matter. It's about love, baby. Age is a number, so let's go to the apartment now and make it official. And she punches me. Well, yeah, what do you think was gonna happen? But Dick isn't discouraged. He says, hey, there's only 1 year till graduation, and she said there's a chance, so I just gotta make it until then. Yeah! Game over. So yeah, that was one of the extra endings I got. Accidentally. It was funny. Okay, back to the actual girl we're pursuing. On our way home from school one day, walking down a hill, Mia starts screaming and is running so fast at us she can't stop down the hill, so I stand in the way to catch her. Geez, when are you not going to be a pain in the ass? Nanasaki then comes over to ask if we're okay, and after embarrassing Mia through Japanese hospitality stuff I'm not going to get into, Nanasaki walks partway home with us. After saying goodbye, Mia teases me saying, oh, you and I-chan seem close, trying to pork my friends Nii-chan, you pervert. I just walk away without acknowledging her. The next day on the roof, I'm reading a manga I borrowed from Mia when Nanasaki finds me. I tell her what I just told you, and she asks me what Mia is to me? A goblin? Well, Dick says she's like a cat. Yeah, I guess that works. Nanasaki then mutters she wished she had a younger sister, then they could be closer. Huh? Wonder what that means. So like Kaoru, to progress Nanasaki's first arc, you have to get a reward, and interestingly, she has 3 different ones that I don't know how you get. The one I got was me asking her again about those guys at the arcade. Oh yeah, we never found out what was up with that. She tells me it was because they were harassing her, asking her to come with them, and then they tried to lift up her skirt, like this, whoa! She suddenly lifts her skirt in front of me. Dick, a better man than me, does not look, but caves in after she says it's okay. Don't do it, man, it's a trap. Oh, she's wearing a swimsuit underneath. Yeah, if you haven't figured it out, she's on the swim team and is wearing it now to make changing later easier. She says my reaction was kind of cute and walks away. Damn, and the worst part is she leaves Dick to take care of this by himself. That's messed up. We do progress with her though, and at night as she's trying to go to sleep, she's like, man, that Dick Tsukasa-senpai is garbage, unreliable, and a perv, but you know he's kinda cute and I kinda want to see him again. Man, the riz this guy has by just doing nothing sometimes is incredible. The next day, Dick sees Tsukahara-senpai dragging Mia around, and he's like, what the hell? Something must be wrong. But Nanasaki comes by and says it's probably alright because Tsukahara-senpai is cool. And he's like, yeah, but I'm worried. Okay, when did you start caring so much about Mia? Nanasaki drags us to them, and yeah, Tsukahara was just trying to recruit Mia to the swimming club. I don't know why he was freaking out for no reason. Later that day, Dick the lazy cuck is feeling tired, so he goes to the nurse's office to take a nap. Where he runs into Tsukahara-senpai, who is getting medicine for someone in her class. While we're here alone with Senpai, she asks us how we got so close to Nanasaki, and Dick is like, are we? Senpai says she was just wondering because Nanasaki is apparently a swimming god, has the best times of the first years, and is kind and willing to learn and even picks up trash at the beach in her spare time. Dick is like, wow, I didn't know Nanasaki was so good at swimming. I should go to the club to watch her sometime. I thought that was an awful idea, so when the game gave me the choice to do it, I obviously did. And yeah, as expected, Dick Suk Sigma Extraordinaire can't hold back his libido for 5 seconds and just stares at Nanasaki in her swimsuit drooling the whole time. So she says, leave. Now. Even her tension level goes down from this. You know, sometimes they can make this guy not a complete tool. Well, they show that in the next one where on my way home I see a guy from my school on the side of the road. Turns out he was running and twisted his ankle, so I help him to the nurse's office. Nanasaki finds me because this guy is on the swimming club too, and she came to find him. I ask her to hold my bag while I help him. After getting him to the nurse's office, Nanasaki hands me my bag and comments, oh, it was real heavy, senpai, what was in it? And of course, Dick has a bunch of dirty magazines in there he was taking home. Why do you keep these at school? He says it's a bunch of dictionaries for studying, and she buys it. The next day, there's a pretty fun scene I wish I could play out, about me and Umehara fighting over a romance book to strike up a conversation with a cute librarian that just started working there. Could you shut up? What? Nanasaki? Oh! Oh, that's a shame, Suk. Ugh. Nanasaki, what the hell? Nanasaki heard loud noises and figured it was us. Since we're here, she asks us to reach for a book for her on the top shelf. It's a mathematics book. Apparently she's having trouble with math, and it turns out Dick is actually some sort of math god. He's good at math and he must not play card games. So I tutor her and it actually works. She starts understanding it and gets all the answers right. So she asks if I could help her again sometime, and I say, sure, I guess. After she leaves, Dick once again tries to get a book to impress the librarian. Which one? Ah, the Illustrated Sumo Dictionary. Perfect. Women love sumo. This game's weird sometimes. Later during lunch, me and Umehara are looking for a place to eat, and I see Nanasaki. I use this as my chance to show off to Umehara that I'm actually friends with a real-life girl. I ask if we can eat with her, and she says, yeah, she doesn't care. And Umehara is dumbfounded. That's right, women tolerate me. Jealous? Then for some reason, even though they've met before, Dick is like, I should make sure to introduce these two properly and be the mediator. Even though he was with us when we met her again, did the game forget about that? I decide to full send it and introduce her as my girlfriend. Both of them are shook by that statement, but I immediately say it was a joke. Umehara's like, oh yeah, should have figured, but Nanasaki is a bit kerfuffled by that. She gets real red and then excuses herself. Umehara says, nice going, bro, you pissed her off. And I'm like, ah, shit. Well, I find her again another day, and she's deep in thought, but it's not about me, it's about her brother. Yeah, Nanasaki has a younger brother in elementary school. I've been worried about him recently. He's been real clingy to her lately, apparently even taking baths with her still, and she's really worried he'll become a degenerate siscon or something. She asked me for advice as a fellow older sibling, and Dick doesn't really give any good advice. But through the conversation, we learned that me and Nanasaki did go to the same elementary school at some point. And then we start arguing about how the slide at the playground there was based on a squid or an octopus. I say squid, she says octopus. I say who cares. And somehow ends with us deciding to go there Sunday night to see who's right. And we do just that, and Dick once again gets owned as it's very obviously an octopus. Get wrecked. Then... okay, look, I like Nanasaki, I like her route so far, but this part made me go, what? Because out of nowhere, a doggo shows up. And again, they don't illustrate the dog or what the situation looks like, so it's kind of unclear. But I think the dog is angry or something and tries to attack us. And we tell Nanasaki to get back and hide on the slide. We'll handle this. But since I never saw the dog, I just imagine it's like a regular dog that was just looking for treats or something. And I guess the thing is that Nanasaki is not good with dogs, probably highlighted by the fact that her image is a cat. But honestly, I think this whole sequence was handled pretty poorly and very forced by the game. Yes, I am Google translating this, but still some kind of imagery would have been nice to make sense of this situation. Either way, the whole point of this is now after protecting Nanasaki from the evil good boy, she's very appreciative of it. Very appreciative of it. She's acting like I saved her life or something. Okay, relax girl, it wasn't a wolf or something, it ain't that serious. A few days later, I wake up early before going to school to head to the bookstore to get some new manga. But I run into Nanasaki, and she's with her younger brother, Ikuo, who for some reason doesn't speak. Not like he's shy, when he's clearly saying something, the game shows a bunch of dots. Are they trying to say he's quiet? I don't get it. Anyway, Nanasaki is also up early to go to the bookstore and is taking her brother with her. But then he runs off. I guess he's kind of jealous because she's talking to me. Oh great, he is a siscon. She says, he'll be fine making it to school from there, and we go to the bookstore. Where when looking around, I see Ikuo here, and I think because of Dick's reaction, Ikuo was looking at porno books? Again, it's not made clear. I tell him to get out of here before Nanasaki sees, and that this is a promise between bros. And I guess he likes me more now? Cool. I don't ever see him again in this route, so... what was the point of that? Well, doing that maxed out her tension, so I got the reward for this, which... remember when I said she really appreciates me saving her? Well, she said she never thanked me properly, and... once again, I get kissed without my consent. But seriously, all I did was wave away a dog. I don't see the big deal. Maybe I should do it more often. Some other day after school, I run into... oh, it's Takahashi-sensei again, at the shopping center. She's there to buy her dinner. I started asking her all these personal questions, like who you cooking for? Oh, you know how to cook? Are you single? Oh, great, this shit again. And then, yeah, Dick starts thinking, ooh, this is my time to confess to Sensei. Again. Luckily, Nanasaki is nearby and punches Dick in the back to stop him from being an incel. Apparently, these two run into each other all the time here, as they both do their shopping around this time. Sensei leaves, and I walk home with Nanasaki. The conversation leads to Christmas, and I ask her what her plans are. She says, I don't know, I'll probably spend it with my family like every year. I say, cool, and leave. The next day, me and Umehara are getting some drinks, and he's like, so, you following up on that spending Christmas with a girl thing? And Dick's like, nah, I don't know any girls. Oh, hey, Nanasaki. She also mentioned she has no plans, so the three of us decide to hang out on Christmas and have a mini gaming tournament to celebrate. Well, at least I'm guaranteed top 3. After school, Dick's like, well, I'm not sure how serious we all were about that gaming tournament, but it's a good excuse to buy a new game, so I head out just in case. I run into Nanasaki at the gate, and she comes with me. And it turns out local GameStop sold out of all the new games. This is why you go to a local game store, kids. Or EB Games. Disappointed, Nanasaki decides to take charge suddenly and grabs hold of my arm, saying if we can't have the gaming event, me and her should have the couple event. Well, okay, that came out of nowhere. After wandering around, we end up in some alley, and I ask her, so, this is pretty forward of you. What's up? Why are you doing this? And then the atmosphere gets kinda interesting, and we're about to kiss again, but then we hear Takahashi-sensei yelling from a distance. Man, she's showing up a lot in this route for some reason. I guess she saw our uniforms and assumed we were being delinquents or something, so we run away. We start laughing about what a wacky situation that was, and as we leave, we say, it's unfortunate about the gaming thing, but the two of them realize it might be leading to something else. Wow. Poor Umehara, I guess he gets nothing from this. Well, after that, Dick wants to see Nanasaki again, so he goes to the swimming club practice. Again. Dude, this did not work out well last time. Tsukahara-senpai's... damn! Tsukahara-senpai sees us and actually says she wanted to talk to us. It seems recently Nanasaki has been in a slump. She's been absent-minded during practice. and her times have decreased by a lot, and she was hoping I would know why. I say, I don't know, she seems the same to me. But the next day, I see Nanasaki and ask her if anything is wrong. She says, oh, well, yeah, it's just a slump, you know, nothing really to do with you or anything. I'll get over it. And I'm like, okay, if you say so. After school, I see Nanasaki, and she's running away, but she's not running like jogging, she's just running. And it seems like she's not all there, as she runs into some guy and just keeps going. So I run after her. When I catch up, she's upset because there's a tournament coming up, and her time was too bad in the freestyle swim, and she wasn't selected to participate. She's mostly upset because she said she wanted to report to Senpai, she means me, that she made it in, so she's depressed. I tell her not to worry, she's still a first year and not to push herself, that she's doing her best anyway. She says she's going to work hard though and try out for the backstroke. More importantly, it's my birthday, and Nanasaki gives me an alarm clock. Wow, did she watch the other playthroughs and see him show up late for everything? Later we go to see Nanasaki and see she's getting advice from Tsukasa-Senpai. Now again, we get another rare moment of Dick actually being a nice human being, and how considerate he's being, as he's really worried for Nanasaki and does want to help her, but he realizes there really is nothing he can do, and that's what is upsetting him, that there really is nothing he can do but just believe in her. Man, I don't know if it was the order I played these in, but it really does feel like this guy is having legit character development. I also go on a date with Nanasaki because I really like her. It's not worth recapping though. It's cute, it's one of the few ones that's like an actual date. We go to the aquarium and have dinner at a family restaurant. It's another one of those vibes. The next day I find Nanasaki on the roof who's doing some thinking. I tell her, look, I know you're struggling and I wish there was something I could do because I hate seeing you like this. She says, hey, that makes her happy enough and she'll be fine. This whole thing has taught her how much she loves swimming, considering how she feels, and that she will do her best and report to us some good news. Ah, great for her. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. After school, I notice I haven't seen Nanasaki yet and that everyone has pretty much gone home, even the clubs. I head to the pool and see she's there and she's crying. And then she just jumps into the pool without acknowledging me. I'm a romantic, so I decide to jump in after her, where in the moment she kisses me. Man, this is getting real dramatic. Also, fuck this guy. Why is he this lucky? She says she's fine now and thanks for helping her, but you know, now I'm soaked in more ways than one. After changing and walking her home, she thanks me again for being there for her, and she's about to say something, but gets kind of embarrassed and red and leaves. And it's after all this that Dick finally realizes Nanasaki is the one. 5th time's the charm. And I do it. I ask her out on Christmas. She says yes, and then surprisingly, she says she'll take care of everything, just show up. And I'm like, ooh, mystery date. I meet up with her in the city at night, and she's not saying where we're going just yet, just to follow her. She takes me outside of town into the mountains. Okay, this could either be really hot or really bad. Just when Dick starts having dirty thoughts, suddenly a deer shows up in front of them. And I guess it is canon that Nanasaki is bad with animals, except cats, because she's freaking out. Like, what do we do, senpai? What if it's got rabies or something? And I say, I don't know, let's run. We escape and manage to get lost for a few minutes, but eventually find our destination, a natural mountain hot spring. Whoa. I ask, how did Nanasaki even know about this place? Apparently, her uncle owns this mountain or something? Like a timeshare? When we're changing, that deer shows up again for a comedy bit where it starts teleporting everywhere like he's a Super Saiyan to an instant transmission. After we deal with that, I'm not going to explain how we did, I get in the bath and realize, wait, I thought there would be a wall or something. Are we mixed bathing? But even Dick is like, yeah right, I'm not that lucky, as if that would happen. Ooh. Okay, I was expecting that. I thought, damn, she's got tan lines? Yeah, damn, wasn't expecting that. She does say she's wearing a swimsuit underneath, but that doesn't matter when she's so close. And as Dick is trying really hard not to contaminate this water with other liquids, Nanasaki tells us the password. Oh! I tell her, I ski you too, girl. And she hugs me, and her towel falls off. And oh, she's not wearing a swimsuit. Okay, skip, you know nothing, YouTube, you didn't see it. Best ending achieved, in more ways than one. The epilogue is cute. It's me and Nanasaki in the future. We got a little house together, and we're watching some fireworks during the summer. Nice. I like Nanasaki. She was cute, and her route was nice. Moving on. Because you see, now, after all this, he understands. Dick, after going through 5 lives, has reached enlightenment. He finally knows what he has to do. So after Nanasaki goes to sleep, he goes out in the street, lays down, and lets Truck-kun work. Because now it's time for him to do what he's wanted to do for the past 2 years. And some change because of all the reincarnation or whatever. Yes, I'm still running with this narrative. I think it's funny. Now we see his final form as Tom Suzuki. That doesn't matter now, cause Tom is ready. He's built up enough confidence, enough skill, enough event artwork, that he's ready to go after the one girl he's wanted this whole time since he was Russ Tog, Morishima-SENPAI, the prettiest, most popular girl in school. He realizes he can't truly be happy and break this cycle until he follows his own heart. There's a major problem with that though. He's a loser, and she's Morishima-SENPAI, and even in all his lifetimes, he never even was in the same area code as her. So this might be a bit more challenging than usual. So Tom goes to the roof to formulate a plan. How do I even approach Morishima-SENPAI? I mean, it's not like she's just gonna come and walk up to— Sorry, making you wait. Oh, you're late. What? Morishima-SENPAI? I think it's my fault for making you wait, but I think I'm on time for the meeting. Huh? But in the end, I was the one who made you wait. I'm sorry. Well, that was easy. Yeah, she just walks up to me. Man, all that dating must have maxed out my pheromones. Or maybe not, because the first thing she says is she can't go out with me. What? I didn't even ask yet. She says she read my letter, but it didn't make her heart go Zugan, as she puts it. Wait, letter? Zugan? What? What's she talking about? Before I can even say, what? Huh? She leaves, all casual-like. Nice going, Tom. Haven't even done anything yet and already got rejected. Well, time to look for Truck-kun again. Time to go back around, reset. But might not be fucked yet, as a little before lunchtime, there seems to be a commotion outside of class. I ignore it, because I'm like, whatever, it doesn't involve me. But then Umahara shows up and he says, "Bad news bears, I gotta come to the hall right now. It's important." Jeez, it can't be that serious. Oh shit. It's Morishima and Tsukahara-senpai, and they're in the second year halls. Sound the alarm. Oh, sorry for not saying hello. I'm Hibiki Tsukahara from 3A. I guess I'm like the guardian of this stupid kid here. Wait. Looks like they're going up to the boys and just looking at them? Huh. They come to me and Tsukahara-senpai introduces them and she says she's here to help fix this idiot's mistake on the roof earlier. I realize they're probably looking for me, and I confirm this with a Zugan. Fuck, I hit the table. They take me to the roof and explain it was the wrong place at the wrong time kind of situation, as right when I was on the roof was when Morishima got a love letter that asked her to meet her there at that exact time. Wow. The god Truck-kun is just fucking with me now. She apologizes for the misunderstanding, but then is all like, I mean really, it's my fault? What? Cause if I wasn't the sender of the letter, I should have said something, so I end up apologizing. She Jedi mind tricked me somehow. Tsukahara-senpai says I'm too honest to fall for Haruka's mind tricks, and they laugh, saying, I guess I'm a real good honest kid. Oh shit, I'm in there. The next day I finish cleaning the science room on the 3rd floor, and nature calls, but after dumping ass I find out I lost my handkerchief. Well, it was Mia's anyway, I borrowed it, so it's not a big loss. Oh shit, it's Morishima-senpai! She's here and she found Mia's handkerchief. Looks like everything's coming up Suzuki today. Senpai's real happy she found it because the design has a dachshund breed dog on it. So she asks if I also like them, and I'm like, sure? And she's so happy because turns out Senpai loves animals. Hey, me too, Senpai. I once fought one in an octopus slide once. She asked me if I like all animals too, and I'm like, sure. And she's so happy to find someone else who loves animals. Hey, I'll love whatever you want me to. And now we gotta do a little time warp because there is a forced event with Senpai. I skipped here because it happens every playthrough, I've already seen it. Luckily, I did actually read it back in my first lifetime as Russ Tog. So on my way to school in the morning, I see Mia and decide to prank her by doing some da-de-da, the classic. She's not amused, but she deserved it because she ate my tamagoyaki this morning. This fucking goblin. We started arguing, but then, oh shit, it's Morishima-senpai! She came over because of the commotion, and I introduced her to Mia. But then Mia, for some reason, is all hostile towards her. She gets all mad and runs away. Sorry about her, Senpai. I'll punish her later for offending you. But actually, Senpai is taking a liking to Mia. Really? She says the way she looks reminds her of a cat. Really? Well, hey, guess we're closer to Senpai, maybe Mia will be good for something later. Speaking of later, it's gym class, and I'm sweating up a storm, but I don't got a towel. Well, whatever. That's when Morishima-senpai comes over. She hands me a towel with a horse on it and says she intended to give it to me as two friends who love animals. Then, well, to be very honest with you gamers, something happened here that I was not expecting in a million years. Our main character does something commendable. Because he realizes Senpai loves animals, but he does not really care, and it's wrong to keep playing up this lie. So he tells her straight up that that was actually Mia's handkerchief earlier, not his, and he's lukewarm to animals overall. Doesn't feel anyway. And lo and behold, being a good person pays off, and I get rewarded as Senpai is impressed we confessed this and said we're a good person if we're this honest. So she says we can keep the towel as a reward. Oh, we definitely in there, boys. Good for Tom, he actually earns some of my respect. And he immediately loses it as he remembers the conversation from this morning about Morishima-Senpai wanting Mia to be her little sister. And he has a weird fantasy about the two of them taking a bath together, well, about to take one. Luckily, the real Mia comes by to snap him out of it before I see something that would get me kicked off this website. Then, like clockwork, Senpai shows up and Mia is all bleh again. And leaves immediately. Don't worry about her, Senpai, she's adopted. Then Senpai starts teasing me, trying to get me to react like some kind of weird cis-con guy, by saying Mia is actually a cute first year that all the guys in her class are talking about. I respond with a stoic, I don't care. She presses it and I say, no, I really don't care. And she's like, oh, Suzuki, you're all cute when you're flustered, but I'm only like that because you're so close. Either way, Senpai called me cute. W? After school, I see Senpai just sitting at the fountain and she sneezes. Realizing she's cold, I head over and give her one of the disposable warmers I have. She's like, wow, you're real nice, Suzuki, or are you just nice to me because you love me? And then Suzuki is like, yeah, I do like you. No, Tom, you idiot, you're blowing your load too soon. Well, it's too late now. He doubles down and says, yeah, Senpai, I love you. I want to be with you. And she says, wow, she's impressed that you said that so confidently. Wait, what? Yeah, she says I'm more of a man than she thought. Oh man, is this it? Are we doing it this early? No, because she says, sorry, but she prefers someone older and more reliable. Then as if she didn't just crush my heart, she casually and with a smile walks away. Well, this is not going how it usually does, is it? I actually thought I messed up and got a game over when the main character went into that closet that I haven't seen since the beginning of the game. But no, it continued on, so... I was interested to see where this was going. Speaking of, the day after I get my heart stomped on, I go to the nurse's office to nap because I'm not feeling well. And like some kind of cruel god is dictating my life, I run into Morishima-Senpai. And we have a normal conversation. What? So I stop it and say, hold the phone there, lady. You just rejected me and you're here acting like that didn't just happen? That's not how this works. She says, oh no, she rejected me romantically, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like me. In fact, she likes talking to me, she says, and apologizing, saying, yeah, Sugihara sometimes often tells her she doesn't consider others when she speaks. Cool. So what I'm hearing is, I still got a chance. Quickly, I recover the situation and say, oh yeah, I didn't take it that seriously. I look forward to keep seeing you, Senpai. And she leaves happy to clear it up. Alright, we haven't really fucked it up yet. Then, surprisingly, there's an event with just our main character thinking about the future. Again, he brings up him getting dumped 2 years ago. I keep forgetting that's a thing, it's barely brought up. And that he's not going back. He will spend Christmas with Senpai, because he realizes Senpai is kind of a ditz who forgets things easily, but she remembers him, and even says she likes talking to him. So he shouldn't just force the issue, but if I keep talking to Senpai, I get to know her, then maybe, just maybe, I can spend Christmas with her, even if it's as a friend. I can do it. I mean, I got a whole month. It can happen. Wow. I was so surprised. This is the first time our main character is clearly pursuing a girl, actually likes her right off the bat, and is very positive and actually comes up with a good plan to get to know her personally. Finally, after 5 lives, 5 girls, 6 technically, and over 50 hours of playing this game, I am genuinely rooting for our protagonist to win. I actually want to see him succeed and improve his life by being with the girl he likes. Took long enough. And hey, even a dog comes by to support me, which Senpai sees without the protag knowing, which maxes her attention for that stage. Looks like everything's coming up Suzuki. Speaking of, one of her rewards is, she sits on me, I'm not going to elaborate, but the one after school, I really liked. I thought it was funny. I asked Senpai to go home with me, but she's all, yeah, I'm going shopping with the Biki today, see ya. But Tom's on a mission now, and thinks fast, saying, I can carry your bags. Yeah, I can do that. And she agrees. Oh yeah, that was actually kind of smooth, Tom. And now I'm going shopping with 2 hot senpai. All the guys at school see me leaving with them, and they're all jelly as fuck. Looks like everything's coming up Suzuki. Hey, wait a minute. Where are we going shopping exactly? You never told me. Wait, this is the shop? Yep, it's a lingerie shop. Unfortunately, it kind of ends there with Tom being all awkward, but it was a good bit. I liked it. We progress at night, and she's in one of those like long sweaters that goes down to like her waist. Is there a name for those? I'd like them. They're kind of cute. She just says I was kind of cute, and my eyes were kind of cool when I confessed to her. Nice. Speaking of, the next day I see her and remember from that confession that she likes older, reliable guys. Well, I'm younger. That can't really be helped. And I'm as reliable as a FedEx delivery, so I need something else to hone in on. So I go straight up to her and ask, hey, senpai, what's the type of guy you like? She says, I guess tough guys and someone who takes charge, but she's not sure and says it's difficult to describe your type. I say, no it's not, everyone's got a type. She starts teasing me like, oh yeah, if it's so easy, what's your type? And Tom, the absolute Giga Chad, says, you're my type, senpai. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm a smooth motherfucker, I said it. And she's like, what's with that smug face? And she leaves saying she hates guys with smug looking faces. Well, that went well, I think. No time to think about that because we got some cameos. Tom thinks maybe if he becomes more popular in class that'll up his Riz stat. So I decided to talk to Tanaka. Yeah, remember her? Maybe socializing with the ladies will help raise my charisma. It's an awkward conversation, but Tom is laughing behind the school later like it worked. It's a slow climb to the top, but I'll get there eventually. And then, oh, hey, it's Ayatsuji, what's up? Yeah, knowing what I know about Ayatsuji, I apologize for what I did and hold that L. Well, time for a plan C, I guess, or is this D? Unbeknownst to Tom, though, it kinda works as Morishima and Tsukasa-senpai are on the roof and saw me growl to Ayatsuji for mercy, and they say I'm an interesting kid. Later, I'm about to leave for lunch when Umehara shows up and says, I have a customer, and it's a prince. What? The hell's this guy talking about? I go to the hall and... Who the fuck is this? What the fuck? I'm 2B's Hanazono. You know that already though, right? Hanazono? How big is this game? 50 hours in and there are still new characters I'm being introduced to that I've never seen before? Yeah, so Seiji here is some kind of really popular guy in the second years nicknamed the Prince. For some reason he wants me to give a love letter from him to Morishima-senpai. I naturally ask, why me? And why not give it to her yourself? Apparently people know I'm chummy with Senpai these days, and he says if he gives it to her, that would ruin the suspense and drama of meeting for the first time on the day in the letter. I'm like, oh. And after he leaves, I'm like, I should just rip this up and get on with my life. But I'm like, no. I have a lot of things, but I'm no cock blocker. So I go to deliver the letter and find the senpais, and Morishima-senpai is upset I'm delivering another love letter. Wait, another one? Yeah, apparently Sugahara-senpai is also here to give her a love letter too, from the most popular guy of the third years. So I give them my letter, and she tries to tease me by asking if it's from me, and I say, you know I don't write letters. And she gets all flustered from this, which Sugahara-senpai takes notice of. But yeah, crazy at the same time, senpai gets love letters from the two most popular guys in school. And what's more, they both went to meet her on the same day at the same time, one on the roof and the other behind one of the school buildings. Damn, us beautiful people have all the problems, huh, senpai? The rest of this event is kind of fun. It's the two senpai bantering back and forth. Their chemistry is great. Both the voice actors do a good job. It really feels like they've been friends for years. Maybe you're jealous? Yeah, I'm very jealous. I'd also like to get love letters from my classmates and juniors. Trust me, Sugahara, if I could, I'd wife you up. So I'd like to be called up on the same day and at the same time and run around the school as fast as I can. Wow, Viki's a bully. On my way home, wait, I see the back of Morishima-senpai. I can walk home with her if I catch up. So I run after her, but before I could talk to her, some people from the track club start talking to her or something, but then they stop, so I run after her again. Then it looks like more people from some clubs talk to her. It's like the science club and the culture club and the book club and the game club. Okay. But finally she's alone, so I run after her again. Finally catching up, she's like, wow, Suzuki, you're all tired and sweaty. I quickly change the subject, saying, wow, senpai, you sure know a lot of different club members. She says, yeah, that's because I was a member of all of them. I'm like, what? She says, yeah, I'm also part of the tennis club and the baseball club and the soccer club. And I'm like, whoa, 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 you're a member of every club? She says that's because when she was a first year, she joined every single club that invited her, but she got bored and would leave them often. And Sugahara-senpai scolded her, so she hasn't joined a club since then. Wow, she gets around. Wait a minute, clubs? Why does that sound familiar? I'm not in any club. Well, whatever. The next day, I'm just taking a walk around school after lunch when I get a nice surprise. Oh, you're in the right place.
Nice timing.
Oh shit, it's the tea ceremony senpai. Oh, that's sick. Hey, it's my other favorite senpai duo. Man, I really miss these two. Wait, what do they want with me in this route? Okay, this is a weird and kind of complicated story. So, last year Yuzuki-senpai saw Morishima-senpai at the park playing with a dog, and eventually, a whole bunch of other dogs showed up. It was a true show of leadership. She was the legendary dog tamer, as they put it. So Yuzuki-senpai asked Morishima-senpai to be part of the tea ceremony club, but she rejected because of the reasons she told us the other day. So Yuzuki and Manaka-senpai challenged Morishima-senpai to a competition that they could do to dragonflies what she did to dogs. Well, what? They lost, saying it was because of the season and dragonflies weren't around during winter. This is all real. They actually say this. This is their story. I say, cool. So why am I here? Well, they want to challenge Morishima-senpai again, and heard through their network, they have one of those apparently, that I'm close to her and they want me to divulge her weaknesses. I say I don't know any, and they don't like that answer, so I deflect by saying, well, what's the point in getting her to join now? I mean, they're all going to graduate in a few months. And they're like, oh, Tom, you poor ignorant slut. If Morishima Haruka joins any club, everyone's going to want to join because she'll technically be an OG after she graduates. They actually use the term OG, I was not expecting that. So they're like, tell us, and I say I won't say anything. I'm about to leave because I'm done with this, but they say a word that gets me to stay. Hey, Suzuki, don't you want to see Morishima Haruka in a kimono? Huh? A kimono? Wow, they're playing to my perversions. They're playing to my weaknesses. Well, they don't do them all the time, but they say sometimes they have fancy tea parties where they dress in kimonos, and if Morishima-Senpai joins, she'll have to wear one too. Wow. Senpais, you think I'm that easy that I'll betray Morishima-Senpai's trust, my one true love, just for a chance of seeing her in a kimono? You are exactly right. I think we have an alliance, ladies. Well, the next day I see them before class, and they look sad. Great. I asked what happened, and apparently the weakness I told them was Morishima-Senpai doesn't like bugs. I don't remember her ever saying that, even in the conversations, or even what they intended to do with that information. But what happened was, as soon as Morishima-Senpai showed up at the park, all of the dogs instantly ran up to her. So frustratingly, they admitted defeat. God, these two are so weird, I love them. Sadly, those are the last of the tea ceremony senpais in this playthrough. They should have been a romance option. Anyway, on another day, Tom is standing around thinking of Senpai again when she shows up, and she's like, oh, you look like you were in deep thought. Were you thinking about me? And he's like, yeah, because I love you. I'm always thinking about you. And he confesses again, saying, yeah, so what? And we get a very different reaction this time. Tom even goes off saying, look, I like you, Senpai, and I will keep coming for you every day. Because, hey, I never know, you might say yes. Wow, this guy is a completely different character from any other version. What happened? Or is his confidence with Sae? Senpai apparently gets really frustrated with this and decides to kiss my eyebrows. Weird choice? Tom splooges in his pants anyway, though. He's also like, what the fuck was that? And Senpai says she's having a hard time expressing her feelings right now, so she kissed my eyebrows. Okay. Either way, Tom is happy. Literally goes home screaming, Yatta! Even the next day, he's so happy he has to tell someone what happened. But, no, he can't say it happened with Senpai. I mean, no one would believe him anyway. I know. I'll keep it vague, so they won't know. Ah, Umehara, nice timing. Hey, get this, bro. No, wait. Umehara might figure out it's her. He's sharper than he looks. Or he'll just make fun of me. Who else? Kaoru? Nah, she'll tease me. Tanaka? Rihoko? Nah, I don't care about her. But these emotions, they're boiling up. I have to tell someone. Oh, hey, it's Takahashi-sensei. Wait. Sensei. Perfect. She won't know who I'm talking about, and she won't go blabbing to anyone. And surprisingly, she's pretty receptive to my story, even egging me on, saying how much of a Chad I am. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty awesome. It's a nice conversation, actually. Oh, hey, Senpai, what's up? What the hell? She dragged me away suddenly, saying she needs me for something. And then she's like, I don't know, I just dragged you away because I felt like it. And again, showing how different Tom is compared to any other route, he instantly picks up that Senpai was jealous of me talking to Sensei so casual-like. Something he would not pick up on any other girl. So this maxes out her tension, and look, I like Morishima-Senpai, she's a fun character. I like how she mixes in English with her Japanese, like her wow, it's very cute. Well, how was that, Senpai? Wow, okie dokie. Let me tell ya, out of all the girls, her events have moments that feel very forced and a little horny. Like her reward for this section. I say I want her to kiss my eyebrows again, and she says no, that's embarrassing, and decides to flip the script saying, you know what, you can kiss me, but it has to be a place on my body that no one else would think of. It also can't be anywhere normal like her hand or her mouth, and it can't be anywhere dirty, and I don't even get a choice this time like with Kaoru. So, our main character, by himself, comes up with well, this translator, right, he said, the back of your knees. Even me, a premier pervert, was taken aback at this choice. To make it even weirder, we go to a shady, broken down shack behind the school, and yeah, I kissed the back of her knees. Fun fact, the scientific term for it is popliteal fossa. But yeah, that happened. I was kind of uncomfortable watching and translating it, honestly. Now this one doesn't matter for progression, but if you remember Senpai getting those 2 love letters, you can actually go and see what happens to each of them. But can only do 1 per day, so I decided to save scum and watch them both. I figured why not. I like this game, I like this route, and it was the last time I'm playing this game, so what the hell. I'm not going to go into them, but I will say they are funny. She rejects them both, of course. We also see Mikimoto Kuon, the most popular 3rd year they were talking about. He's funny, he's basically the most conceited guy ever. He literally thinks he's God's gift to women. Alright, I'll just pretend it never happened. Huh? Yeah, there's no way I get dumped. That wouldn't happen. Alright, I'm going home. Wow, he's pretty basic. The one with the prince kind of pissed me off because I saw from the blow of Morishima-Senpai rejecting him, then running to the other spot, Tsukahara-senpai shows up to console him. And she jokingly says something like, hey, if she doesn't want you, why don't you go out with me? And he's like, nah, I'm good. And I was like, bro, have you seen her in a swimsuit? Honestly, I don't get why our main character doesn't go for Tsukahara-senpai, based on what he said about his taste in women throughout the game. It seems like she's his actual dream girl. I mean, I would personally. Have you seen her in a swimsuit? One night Mia comes in singing some song about dachshund dogs again, and I tell her to shut up. She's all smug saying, oh, you don't know? I can't believe you don't know. You don't know? I say no, and I don't care. And she shows me a towel with a dachshund hound on it, and I say, so what, you bought another stupid towel? She says, nah, she didn't buy it. Morishima-senpai bought it for her. I'm like, yo, hold up, sis. Don't you hate Morishima-senpai? She says, no, I don't have any reason to hate her. It's that I hate you when you're around her. Well, according to the translation, she says I act all slutty around her. Well, it's not wrong. And I assume what is implied is Mia is jealous I act that way. I hope that's not what they're implying. Well, either way, gamers, we progress to the final act of this whole shebang. Let's go. Later on, I happen to see senpais going behind the school building, and I follow them like a weirdo. And oh shit, like Tsukahara-senpai just saw me. Nah, I'm completely hidden, there's no way. Seems Morishima-senpai is asking about me? And what to do, cause I'm a younger guy and she thinks it's weird that a younger guy is spoiling her. Tsukahara says to be a woman and suck it up, and spoil him like crazy. Specifically to come up behind me and say, Goro Nyan. Well, this motivates Morishima-senpai, and she's filled with vigor and leaves. Then Tsukahara-senpai looks in my direction and says, it's getting pretty fun, huh? Wait, did she see me? Well, either way, I guess my next interaction with senpai will be special. At least the one that follows that event, because a different one, I'm at the arcade like usual trying to win this new plushie, when senpai comes in saying she followed me in here and wants to play a game with me. She coincidentally chooses one of those compatibility test machines, so we do it, I punch in our initials, I'm TS and she's HM. We answer the questions and get 30%. I'm like, whatever, it's just a machine. But senpai's not having it, she wants nothing more than 100. So we do it again, even though I say nothing's gonna change, but this time, instead of H, I put L for her first name. I'm like, okay. The rest is the same, and surprise, we get 95%. So I ask, okay, why L instead of H? And she says L stands for lovely. And I'm like, yes you are, but what does it mean? She says no, lovely is her middle name, so her full name is Haruka Lovely Morishima. This is a big deal, because Japanese people don't have middle names if you haven't noticed, so now all the English makes sense. Senpai is a half-u. Well, a quarter-u, her mom is half Japanese, because her granddad is British and her grandma is Japanese. She says she doesn't get to see them often, but they come every Christmas, and she gets to see them then. Oh, that's nice, keeping in touch with family. Wait, Christmas, why does that sound familiar? Well, who cares, I'm talking to senpai. She says last time her granddad brought a funny comedy video, and she wants to watch it with me sometime. Hell yeah, cute anime girls and Monty Python. Not a combination I ever thought of, but it works, I guess. The next day I see a bunch of people scrambling for the Christmas party. Wait, a party? Oh, right, that founding festival thing. It was like a big deal in the prologue and Ayatsuji's route, but it's never been brought up again. Huh. Before I can keep thinking about irrelevant storylines, Christmas this year. No, she said it, I forgot about that. Whoa, what the fuck? Goro-na. Oh, wow. She actually did it. And yes, I felt them. And got a lot of weird looks, but Suzuki does not care. Speaking of weird looks, this is probably the most contrived event in the whole game. So, Morishima-senpai is bored of the school menu because she's been here for years. So, Tom suggests, instead of spicing up the food, why not spice up how she eats it? She does this by... This really happens. Pretending she was kidnapped, is tied up, and is so hungry and starving that she will accept anything the kidnapper, being Tom of course, gives her. So pretending to have her hands tied behind her back, she opens her mouth and is constantly like, please, give it to me, as I feed her soup. This is an actual thing that happens in this game. Who is getting their fetishes in the script? Stop them. Another day after school, I'm going home with senpai. Wait, what? Did I miss something? Why am I going home with her? Oh, we're going to the video store to get that comedy video she told us about. On the way there, I learned that senpai is an Emoto and an Onechan at the same time, because she has an older brother and 2 younger brothers. Wow, your parents are busy. We make it to the video store and... wait, this is the bookstore background. Well, I guess we gotta reuse the assets. Morishima-senpai sees that there's a section closed off by a curtain and wants to see what's back there. Obviously, that's the porno section. I don't know how she doesn't know that. So I tell her, no, there's boring stuff back there. You don't want to know. Ah, fuck me sideways. Umehara is coming out of the porn section now of all times. Luckily, I'm able to distract senpai long enough for him to make an escape. Jeez, that was close. To top it off, we don't even find the comedy video we're looking for. Great. Can't believe Umehara with the worst timing. I'll have to confiscate that video we got later as my payment for helping him. Next day, we actually get probably the most important scene in the entire game. Seriously. We're going home with senpai again when Tom says there's somewhere he wants to go with her. It's the spot he got dumped at 2 years ago, and he asks if she remembers him. Wait, what? So apparently, the day after he got dumped, Tom came back here all depressed and That's when he met Morishima-Senpai for the first time. She came up to him and started talking to him and managed to cheer him up by saying he reminded her of her dog. Yeah, that was Morishima-Senpai, alright. After that, when he entered high school, he saw he was in the same school as her, and yeah, they actually give a reason why the main character likes the main girl without just her being pretty. I was not expecting that. Then Senpai says she actually remembers us, or Park could. Because she was also going through some stuff at the time, as 2 years ago, her pet dog that she had since she was 3 died. Oh. Well, that's more serious than my thing, I guess. That's when she came to this park where she took her dog and saw me sitting at the bench her dog loved, and she felt compelled to talk to me. Wow, fate sure works like a creaky wheel that's not entirely on course. Her dog's name was John, by the way. Wait, John? John Stew? Did I get reincarnated as a dog once, like that weird anime? And I don't remember? I hope not. And I wish I didn't see the stage 3 reward. I swear, Morishima got all the weird shit. So I ask her, hey senpai, I want you to be happy, so what can I do to make you happy, Earl? And she says, she wants to shave my legs. I'm done talking about it. I'm gonna just ask her out this Sunday and move on with my life. And hey, I got another year of that, because it's my birthday, and it's the last present we get. And it's from senpai, of course. It's chopsticks, and that spoon for eating ramen that probably has a name. Still, honestly, I think the best gift was Kaoru's, but most original goes to Sae. That sure was something. Now, the date we have is fine. It's another one of those vibe kind of ones. It's cute. We go on a boat ride and hang out at the beach while Tom simps over senpai like usual. But now it's time for the end. Because, yep, it's time to take the plunge. I go up to her and ask senpai to the roof, and I say, will you go out with me on Christmas? And of course, we expected it. Senpai is way out of our league. She says yes. Wait, what? Yeah, I know we all expected Tom to fail. We thought Truck comes and come back, tell us to reset again, but no. She said yes. Fuck yeah, dude. I did it. After 5 lives, being abused by several women, abusing several women, not in that way, but sort of that way, I'm finally spending Christmas with Morishima-Senpai. This is family. What? Oh, right, she said she spends Christmas with her grandpa and grandma, but she says I can come along and meet them. Well, it's not alone together, but I'm still spending Christmas with senpai, so I guess it's a W. So now, here we are, gamers. The final Christmas date. Christmas with senpai. I meet up with her at night, and I'm like, alright, I'm here, I'm ready to meet the folks. And she's like, let's go walk around and enjoy the sights. Okay. Eventually, senpai gets a little flirty, because I think that's what she's doing, and she runs off and wants me to chase her, so I do so, but then I find her with some kid. Apparently the kid is lost, so the two of us work together to get them back to their mom. Wow, what a nice thing the two of us did. I'll tell Morishima-Senpai's family I did that for brownie points. Anyway, where are we meeting them? Like, when are we doing that? What's going on? And she says, oh, they're having an event in this hotel, let's go. So here we are at the hotel, and she says, vaguely, take off my clothes. But Tom, of course, starts splooging in his pants, thinking about what she means by that. What she means is that they have a water park and sauna indoors that goes around all year, and she wants to go in. Oh. I mean, yeah, I guess this is fun, but senpai, we're wasting time. Don't we gotta go meet your family? I forget everything I was saying. Who needs to worry when I'm playing at the water park with senpai? This is great. Then the two of us go into a sauna, and senpai presses her skin to mine, comparing her sweat. I'm telling you, she got all the weird fetish shit. Well, that was nice, but again, I asked senpai, and this time I want an answer. When and where are we meeting her family? She says, oh, we were supposed to meet them an hour ago. Oh, okay. Wait, what? We gotta go now. Where's the meeting place? And she says, oh, it's here, don't worry. I'm like, nah, I have to be your future husband. Let's go. So I drag her to the elevator. Can't believe I'm late for such an important thing like this. It's not like there was anything else important I was late for in my life. Alright, this is it. Tom's getting himself ready, he's hyping himself up, and he decides to ask, who in your family's gonna be there, so you can prepare. I think it's like, your granddad and grandma are gonna be there, right? She says, oh no, they had a problem with their flights. They're not even here. I'm like, oh, okay, so your parents and brother are here? And she's like, no, why would they be here? My grandparents aren't here, so they stayed at home. It's just the two of us. Oh, okay. So it's just me. And you, senpai. Alone. At night. In a hotel room. On Christmas. Fuck. Tom is basically shut down by this point. He is trying his best not to faint, considering all the blood is not going to his head right now. And to make matters worse, senpai chooses now to go take a bath and playfully says no peeking. I think that's where Tom loses it. But that's also where it all kind of sets in. He takes a look at the city skyline, and it's weird. For the first time, he's actually happy. Not because of the naked girl in the other room, that's nice. He's happy because of who he is now. Think about it, he's done it all. He's been a sub, a terrible friend, an even worse boyfriend, an actual good friend, and an actual good boyfriend. To now, where he's used all that confidence and experience to make it this far. I mean, he's alone with Morishima-Senpai on Christmas. Yeah, she doesn't like him back, but that's fine. Just spending time with her is enough. Even if Truck-kun comes back again, you know what? He's like, fuck it. I'll go back around, try again, maybe just be friends with senpai, who knows. As long as I can be with her, that's all that matters, Just gotta spend the time with the people you love as much as you can. Oh shit, the power went out. Senpai comes out the bathroom and I'm like, hey, careful, I think there's an outage. She says no, she turned off the lights. I'm like, why? She says, cause seeing her in a towel would be embarrassing. Okay, that's where Tom loses it. But before I could say anything, she asks why I didn't peek at her. And I say, well, I'm not a pervert anymore. And she starts freaking out saying things like, you said you like me, right? So why didn't you peek at me? You said you keep confessing to me, so why haven't you done it in so long? What's going on? And she says the words Tom thought he'd never hear from Senpai. Oh, damn, that came out of nowhere. I love you, Suzuki. I love you so much. Huh? Senpai? I've been waiting for a long time. Senpai? Of course, I say, I love you too, Senpai. You were my 6th choice, but also my last. And finally, the 2, well, I can only assume what 2 people in a hotel room with one of them being naked do, so, you know. And that's it. That's the last best ending of the game. The harem is complete. Flashing forward to years later, Tom is married to Senpai, and he's a police detective? Not the career I would have expected for him. He was inspired by low-angle detectives. And that's it, it's all the best endings in the game. I like Senpai, she was fun. I actually think now she had the most comedic events that were funny, and again, I like her mix of Japanese and English, it's cute. I mean, obviously I like this game, I'm coming back to 100% it someday. And honestly, it has made me more of a fan of dating sims. I know a lot of them are very different than this, playing out more like life simulators, but hey, maybe that'll make for a harder gaming experience next time. For now, thanks for watching. If you watched all this, follow me on everything. I'm tired. I'll see you next time for more hype gaming. Raised by the savages, know you couldn't handle this. Everybody